Yo, people, welcome back to the channel. Saturday night, calling Khan is calling. What are you telling me, people? Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is safe. Hope everyone is doing amazing things with their lives. Hope families are good. We're good. I got the Colonel with me, wearing the Jamaican kit. Big up Jamaica every single time. Colonel, what are you telling me, bro? What are you telling me?
Good, man. Good, excited. Kind of calm before maybe a Man United witnessing or experiencing a storm. You never know, what them type of games bring. So I'm kind of excited, man. But at the same time, just trying to keep it calm. Dust is settling from the window. A few men dust got in their eye, irritated. But for me, it's just finally settled. I can come outside and just breathe easy now. You know what I'm saying? That's done.
It's one of those ones, isn't it? It's one of those ones. It's done. What can we
It's
do?
done.
It's done.
It's done. You want to talk about January, bro? Yeah.
No. We're not gonna.
You see what I'm trying to say? So
yeah.
now that it's done, we can lock in, focus on the squad, focus on what we got. I was listening to the presser right before we came in, and his first statement saying he's good. We've heard that before. But he said he's good.
So let me give a bit of background. People, come on, start liking up the stream, smashing up the likes before we get into it. I'm gonna bring in callers slowly but surely, guys. Just be a bit patient because we're gonna do a bit of setting the show before we let you guys on. I know you're hungry and eager, but we've got a few things to get through. Obviously, we're gonna give our opinions on the window. We're gonna go through some of the ins and outs, or the outs, I should say, and more outs. As I said, this will be a call-in. I didn't advertise it as a call-in. I've been tired. I've been so busy, man. So I forgot that it's a call-in. But you guys already know Saturday night it's a call-in. Big up CJ. Awful window, evening, or come on, man. Let's go. Big up Grizz in the chat. Let's go, people. Come on, let's hit the likes buttons. Yes, says HP. Big up Grizz and Zubimendi. Sideline Football Show is in the building. Total Clips is in the building. He says, Wagwan Grizz. Then he says, guys, slap up the likes. He's right. David says he enjoyed the football today without playing. Let us know which game did you watch? Did you catch any games today?
Yeah, I watched a few. Arsenal, Leicester, and Brentford. Yeah, Brentford, Southampton, I think. And I was watching some
Arsenal
Bundesliga as well.
It'll be interesting to hear from Arsenal fans if anyone comes in, man. Arsenal dropping points early.
I wouldn't say Arsenal. I would say one player dropping points because the game looked one-sided till certain men left the pitch. So talk about letting the team down. See, the team can be good.
Oh, you think he let the team down? You think it was a justified?
Nah, come on, Grizz, man. I don't know if you saw the game, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I'll give you a generalized statement of what I'm saying. When people say, "Oh, they want a certain player," or a player is worth a certain amount of money, yeah, that's his footballing abilities and his quality. But who he is as a person, level-headed, understand model profession, seeing out the game, keeping his head in the game, not doing stupid things, not towing the line of chaos. And you go a man down, bro, your whole plan changes. I'm pretty sure at some point in the game, Arteta preemptively was thinking, I can give Sterling a run out depending on how the scoreline's going. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe thinking some other man, not necessarily Sterling, but, just thinking some other man maybe run on the pitch. With him getting sent off, bro, Arteta,
everything's rip up. Rip up.
He's now testing Arteta's freaking resolve. And
do you think that was a yellow card, though? Did it justify being sent off for those two offenses?
No. Let me tell you what it is. You see, when you're on a yellow, you can play on the mercy of the ref, where the ref is like, I can send you off, but I'm not going to. Or the ref can be like, yo, I'm not taking no shithousery this season. And that was shithousery, bro. He kicked the ball away. The other player capitalized in the moment and tried to play the ball and then kicked them. it was one of them ones where it would have been controversial either way. But rules are rules, man. Can't be disrupted. You caused the foul, and you're preventing the free kick from being taken. That's a yellow. It's almost as if he was moaning at the ref, and the ref give him another yellow. Rules are.
People,
So,
let us know in the chat what you guys think. Was that a yellow? Did those two offenses? Imagine if it was a Liverpool player, how would we feel? Or imagine if it was your club's player, how would you feel?
Let's say it's our marquee signing doing it. Oh, we'll be livid, innit?
It doesn't matter if it's marquee or not, man. Any player that gets sent off
but
for that,
we all still feel the wounds of Ramos.
I think we'd be a bit peed off if it was one of our boys.
Think of it like Ramos twisting up Salah. He never got a red card for that. You see what I'm trying to say in that Champions League final? So it's one of them ones where it'll stay with you. Arsenal come in, let's say Arsenal missed out on top 4 by 2 points. They'll look back to that moment. Some fans will look back to that moment.
Okay. Zubimendi thinks it was 100% yellow, and the guy let the team down and the manager down. Let us know what you guys think, man. Big up everyone in the building. Coming up to 200 of you. Let's hit the like button first and foremost before we go anywhere and start talking about everything. And obviously, Colonel, we have to start with, as you said, the window and the activity. I mean, what do we make of it, man? At the end of the day, this is how it ended.
You know,
these are the ins and these are the outs. A whole heap of outs.
Yeah.
And,
obviously, I'm going to say this, and it's not a trolling thing. Just listen to what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I felt there wasn't enough outgoings on the club. I've always said it, right?
I hear you. You have.
Last season, I felt like Klopp started a rebuild. Now, the players he brought in, it might have not been the players we wanted. There was the Gravenberch, the Sabazalai, the McAllisters, and the Endo. That's 4 midfielders he brought in, right? And we're looking at those 4 midfielders, and we're like, yeah, I can see the rebuild. I can see where this is going, but we're going to need a few more pieces. A new manager picks that up. Klopp already did some of his midfielding job for him. He brought in 4 midfielders. Now, it's not the 4 flashiest midfielders, but it's still 4 midfielders. So we already have existing midfielders, and he got 4 more in. I think this new manager inherited a pretty decent squad where an excessive amount of signings was not needed. That's where I personally stand. So I'm not saying I agree with the window. I would have wanted 2 more players. 1 for the future, 1 for right now, according to the words of the manager. 2 more players for me would have made it a perfect window. So for where I'm standing, I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because the rebuild started last season. And for Newman, he needs to see where this is going, some of the players in. So the best thing he can do is get rid of all of them men that you see on the outgoing list. He needed to get rid of some men first. And I think they did a pretty good job. They surprised me with the number of outgoings that left. Really surprised. There's a few men that left on the free, like released. Like, you will not have a future here. So, that's big.
I hear you. I hear you about we were too clingy in Klopp's tenure to young players, old players. So let's look. We know about the ins, and we've discussed the ins to the death. Let's talk about the outs because you gave it a 5 out of 10. Which is your opinion, and people are giving their opinions in the chat. Let me know, guys, and we'll discuss it with you guys. So look, Matip came to the end of his contract and was never going to get a new one. I think we all agreed with that. Matip and Thiago and Adrian. Did you have any qualms with them 3? I personally absolutely didn't.
No.
So we agree on them ones, yeah?
Yeah, they shouldn't even be here, but yeah.
So look, Matip, great servant, magnificent servant. I think a legend of the club. Won the Champions League, whatever. All them trophies that we won, he was integral part in every single trophy. So big up Matip every single time. But obviously, injuries got the better of him. We don't even need to discuss Thiago, magnificent player, but just injuries didn't let him play. And Adrian, man behind the scenes, whatever, understandable. Let's get to the first one that we actually got money for, Vandenberg. Can't remember what you was feeling, about
I think it was great business. Never
Great
kicked the ball
business.
in the prim, and he definitely. It's a player. I don't follow players like this where I'm looking how they improve after the loan spell. I'm more looking as to how the manager rate them after the loan spell. But for this guy, this manager never loaned him out. So when he came back, I thought I thought he improved. I thought he definitely stepped his game up. You can see he's definitely eager. You can see that he definitely needs first team football. Unfortunately for him and where we are as a club, that's not the level we need for our first team. So then he's going to have to go out the door. So I was very over the moon with the deal. I'm excited for the player himself to go out and get first team football so he can really prove his mettle.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Fair. I think it was a good deal. I think he needed to go out and play football now. We couldn't convince him. We couldn't give him, guaranteed playing time. I hear
But he
you.
wasn't our level though, so I don't like when people say we couldn't
Okay.
give him that. Yeah,
Okay.
when you say we couldn't give him that, it's almost like we should have considered it. He wasn't our level, and that's fine to say. There's a lot of people that's not going to be our level, and that's okay.
No, that's okay. 100%. I agree with you. 100%. We agree so far. Then we go on to Carvalho. I don't think we're gonna have many arguments.
Yeah, same thing. That Grizz. I think you said it. I think it was last season or the season before when we first got him, and I think he got subbed or wasn't getting enough minutes. And you're like, "Yo, this is a big man sports, little boy. Got to stay there." And and I was like, "Damn, Grizz, you're being harsh." But basically, you were saying there's levels to this, and he is another one. Not our level. No one here is gonna say, "Yo, Carvalho for the semifinals of the League Cup, FA Cup is gonna guarantee us the final." No one here is saying that. No one here is saying Carvalho in the group stage of the Champions League is gonna get us there. No one is saying that. So if we're not saying that about a player, Grizz, we don't need that player because that's the level we're at.
We're gonna go through the ones that I don't think was too much of an issue or problem. We'll skip them. So players like Harvey Blair, Scanlon, Kumas, Chambers, Beck, Ramsey, all going out on loan, which is understandable. Young players, go and experience first team football somewhere, big boy football, yeah. And whoever impresses will come back and we'll assess it again. And whoever doesn't probably won't have a career at Liverpool Football Club. The one at the bottom there, we want to start working our way towards the not youngsters, but and not like first team players, but squad strokes being around. So Phillips. Now this one frustrated me. Like, why would Nat Phillips frustrate me? Not Nat Phillips himself, bless him. But how we dealt with this one. This is where my first point of frustration, anger comes in, Colonel.
Why is that?
I tell you why. Because only a week ago we were told we refused. 2 weeks ago we rejected a £4 million bid. Why are we rejecting £4 million bid? Why are we holding out for 7 million? We were holding out for 7 million for him. In the end, we've given him away for free because he's out of contract now. By the time he comes back next season, he'll be out of contract.
So you're saying we should have taken the 4 mil, leave no money on the table.
You're a businessman and you stick up for business.
See, I like the angle you're going with this, right?
No, you're
Grizz,
trying to.
Grizz, I can't penny pinch the 4 mil. 4 mil for that, yes or no? What needle did it move? Grizz, you can't come on these streams and tell me you're bent out of shape because we didn't take 4 mil off the table.
No, you're cooking up. No, you're cooking up an excuse for no reason.
No, I'm not cooking up an excuse. I'm saying, what needle would the 4 mil have moved?
Are you mad?
Let me ask you a question. What if we had nowhere to really put that 4 mil? What if we're maxed out with where we're allocating money and then that 4 mil would have probably, them ones where you have too much money in one place and you have to like move it? What if that 4 mil would have taken us over that threshold?
No, you're wild.
Nah, Grizz, we can't be saying, we should have just got that 4 mil. I mean, if he went out on loan and leave for free, No one is bothered about Phillips, bro. So all of a sudden, we're so bothered about the name Nat Phillips and $4 million.
No, 4 million.
Bro, he's another
That's
club's
someone's new
responsibility.
contract, brethren.
He's not gonna get a new contract.
No, that's someone's new contract renewal.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You said no, that's someone's agent fees.
Wherever.
Yeah,
it will come from the same part.
If you would have said that, I'd have been like, all right,
Yeah, but I'm
could have
thinking
taken the 4 mil.
I operate 3 steps ahead. You need to catch up, brethren.
Nah, but I wasn't. That's what I'm saying. What needed with the 4 mil?
You're thinking needle in terms of
no. But you could have told me when I asked that question, it would have moved the needle on someone's contract. Then I'd have been like, great, because that's why I keep asking a question. What improvement would the 4 mil have done? I kept asking, you never answered. So now you're answering saying that could have helped with sorting out certain man contract. I'd have been like, then we should have taken that deal.
I honestly, I think that's a mad one. I think how you're trying.
Is it a blunder as far as
blunder
as far as business dealings go? Because we always praise him for good business.
The whole Nat Phillips situation, since he darked it up for us and got us top 4 in that injury-ravaged season, has been a disaster. Colonel, it has. That was what, 3 years ago?
Can we say it's equivalent to like the Origi ones where they're not accepting money and then they end up leaving on a free? Obviously, okay.
Yeah. But not to that extent, because Origi, we could have got good 25 million for our one season. You get it?
Yeah.
Like Phillips, we were always going to get 7-8 mil.
I don't know if we would have gotten 7-8, man. So you're right.
But
I'm thinking like 5-6 at best.
I hear you, but I'm saying maximum we would have got 7-8 mil for Phillips. Guys, I haven't eaten all day. Excuse me. You already know the drill. Calling Khan show is relaxed. We're munching away. If you want to know what I'm eating, I'm having some chicken pilau. The game's the game. All right. The first possible controversial one or something, I don't know how you want to look at it. Well, the only one we haven't discussed. Doak. Okay, do you understand the Doak situation? Especially now that we've got Chiesa in.
You see all of them men on loan. I am not bothered about any one of them that's on loan.
Fair.
If would have sold a man that's on that loan list, like the Kumas or Doak, or I wouldn't even be bothered by Doak. I'm not even trying to pretend. But Celtic, there's no man on loan that I care about enough to be like, should have kept him. There's none. That's why I think the windows are 5 out of 5. We move some men that, bro, what do they get game time here sparingly? They're not going to move the needle on us challenging. So best rid of to get them out of sight, out of mind, let them develop elsewhere, and then focus on what we have.
So Bobby Clark didn't bother you?
I rate him. Selling him, I'd probably want to see him get loan, but even selling him, like Grizz, none of these men is going to move the needle this season.
10 mil.
Name me a player on that list that was going to move the needle for us this season.
In my opinion, none. I agree with you.
Okay, so then there's no real fuss then.
No, I agree.
The only question I will ask you, if you should add one player that isn't on the outgoing list to the list that you don't think will move the needle for us, is there a player left in the squad where you're like, we should have got him out of there as well?
No, I'm with you. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want to agree everything with you. But
no, I hear it because basically what I'm asking is
you're making valid enough points for me not to say no, that's outrageous. The only thing I disagreed with was the Nat Phillips one where you said, yeah, allow it. But so what? Vegetic is the controversial one. A little bit controversy amongst the Liverpool fan base.
Yeah, because not signing a midfield or a DM,
right?
We probably could have kept him in the wings.
Right. So where we at with this? Because hopefully we get some Liverpool fans to gonna give that.
That's the one where I'm like,
chat, I'm gonna tell you now, people in the studio, if you're not a Liverpool fan, you're gonna be difficult to bring you on today because it's Man United, Liverpool, and all of them business, and it's Liverpool transfer window. You know, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. You know what I mean? It's gonna be Liverpool specific today. to start off with. But we see how it goes. Anyway, sorry.
Basecik on loan without bringing in a player, it kind of questions the rotation and how the rotation is going to go, because surely he could have been rotated in a few cups. He could, you know what I mean, just sparingly get some minutes here or there. There's a lot of minutes.
What's your thinking? What's your thinking is Slot's thinking? Because I've got a simple theory.
You want to hear me? The minute Basecik was gonna get, it's clearly just gonna be on Hendo. Clearly just gonna be on Hendo, because you see the style of football that he's playing. It's suited to a guy like Hendo. The place isn't high tempo, Gangnam press, back and forth, end to end. It's none of that. If the moment is there, none of us is expecting Hendo to do a full field run to go tap something in, or a full field run on a break that is cutting us open. So Hendo actually, and I'm not saying he suits Klopp's system, but the age and his limitation, it can contribute more in Slot's system. It's going to be a lot of recycling of possession. Hendo can do that all day, every day.
No, limping monkey, he means Endo. He keeps saying Hendo. I don't know why he does this. It's just a figure of speech for him. You already know by now everyone knows he means Endo. That's just a kernel. That's just a kernel thing. But all right, look.
Maybe it's my accent. No, I'm not saying like Slot rate. I'm just saying the profile of Hendo.
Okay, so
it works.
Okay, so my theory, and it's a simple theory, and it's caused outrage amongst Liverpool fan base, because people cussing me and saying, yo, why don't you rate Bajcetic?
Well, so you don't rate Bajcetic.
No, like I do rate him, but I don't rate him like that. And I know people are saying Bajcetic needs game time, and that's why he's been sent out on loan, because he's had a year out and he needs to play. I genuinely think he would have got plenty of minutes here if he was kept behind. We're in 4
That's what I'm saying.
He would have
I'm
got.
agreeing with you.
Now, I think, here's my hot take. People in the chat, it's not even that hot, because Slot literally has kept Tyler Morton ahead of him.
A lot of people rate Morton, you know.
Now, I rate Tyler Morton higher than Bajcetic. And
you rate him higher as well?
Yes. And I think, and we don't know, but so far the proof is there, but people are obviously giving it context and saying, nah, Bajcetic is only sent out on loan because he needs minutes. I think he would have got plenty of minutes here. I think he will be close in terms of how many minutes he gets at Salzburg and how many minutes he would have got here. Because Salzburg ain't no gimme. They got a few midfielders that are tough and rough and ready and playing. So it'll be interesting to see how much Bajcetic plays at Salzburg. I get it, the Pep Linders factor, and I like that. The Pep Linders chose him. And I also want to know what people, let me know, guys, what you think, which position Bajcetic will play in at Salzburg and where you guys see him. Because that's a very, very interesting.
There, you know.
Huh?
I don't know if he's gonna start over there. That Salzburg.
Well, that was part of the contract. That's part of the deal. That's why we're sending him out there, that he's got to play a certain amount of games.
So now I'm gonna have to follow that league, you know.
Yep. People, where's Bajcetic's position, in your opinion? Colonel, I'll start with you.
Bajcetic, I think he works in a double pivot, and I think he can also work as like where have we seen him? Left-sided 8. So those are the 2 positions I have him for. Left-sided 8, doing some late runs. He was good at that within the 10 games that he was busting it up. So
this is my point. Look at the dilemma in your headpiece. Look at the awkwardness in your answer.
No, because when we brought him in, it was we were injury ravaged. You know what I mean?
We were dead on our feet. Every man was dead. Fabinho, Henderson, Naby, Ox. Every man was dead.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Pep Linders set up with a 4-3-3, and it's a flat 3. Well, so this can play anywhere in that flat 3.
Well, this is my point I was coming to. So he's been sent to Salzburg, And they play 4-3-3 because Pep Linders plays 4-3-3. We know his time at Liverpool. He's the one who instigated this 4-3-3. Yet Slot hasn't been playing 4-3-3.
Yeah, it's
Slot
been
is
playing like
playing with
4-2-3-1.
So hear me out. So he thinks Tyler Moulton is more suited to his way of playing, his system,
Oh,
his
so you don't
idea
think
of
you rate him in a double pivot?
I'm just saying, I'm just having a conversation and I'm giving my opinion and my take on it. I genuinely believe Slot rates him higher than Bejitic, and he's let Bejitic go on loan.
You know what? I don't even follow Morton that much, and I feel like Bejitic had more bite than Morton. But if the manager said it's Morton, bro, we have to work with Morton.
Well, Morton is. I've been rating Morton for a little while, and he was outstanding at Hull last season. And a friend of the show, Ben Bosek, if you guys don't know who he is, go and check him out on Twitter.
Do you think Morton had a loan spell lined up and it just fell through?
I think we wanted 20 million for him. That's how highly.
Oh, we was trying to sell him.
No, if we was to go, we wanted 20 million. We didn't want to send him out on loan. And nobody obviously was giving him 20 million. We're going to go through a few comments. First and foremost, Jamrock, big up Jamrock, says, how young are first team midfielders outside of Endo? Very young. McAllister's 25. He's probably the next oldest. Sabozalai, Curtis, Gravenberch, Elliot, if you want to count him as a midfielder. Tyler Moulton. Who else am I missing out?
Trey went out.
Trey and Yoni. Yeah, so we're young, absolute young bloods. This is what I'm trying to say to you guys, man. Have we left ourselves short in midfield? We've got six senior players. Senior players plus Enyoni and Morton, I believe. I don't know if I've counted Morton in the 6.
That's not a great list, You
want to change that 5? You want to change that 5 out of 10?
Is that what this opening statement is about?
I'm just pointing it out to you. Do you want to change that rating?
No, because I like Trey, so I don't want to be disingenuous and pretend like I don't rate the guy. I rate Trey. So if our young players coming in is Morton and Trey. Wait, what happened to McConnell? Yeah, McConnell as well. Right, Grizz. You know what?
Man, I'm injured, so he's still about. McConnell didn't get a loan move because he's injured, so he's actually inadvertently being kept.
You know what? Big up the chat. Big up everyone who's given the window their rating. I'm gonna sync up with the fans. I always try to be the one guy over there. We have to give the window a 2 out of 10, just based off window. It's not like we're giving the squad a 2 out of 10, but we have to give the window a 2 out of 10. We have to call it what it is. We didn't have the sexiest window, man. We had one for now, one for the future. That's a 2 out of 10. That's a 2 out of 10. Let's be real. So
2 out of 10 now, yeah. So you've gone from 5 to 2. I thought you were gonna come with
because you know what? I'm trying to do the bias where I'm just loving the squad and I'm just supporting the squad. Kind of like one of them blind follower type of thing where I'm just like, you know what? I get it. 5 out of 10. I was just putting it right down the middle, but
I think but the way you was justifying the 5 kind of made sense. And then
but then when I'm looking at the prospects of the League Cup and the FA Cup, we don't have the squad to really go. We can rotate, but Grizz, we're talking about one injury and we're in the mud. Let's be real. One injury, we're in the mud.
Big up, yo, what's good in the building, man? Hope you're doing well, my brother. He says Bajcetic has a higher ceiling than Morton, in my opinion, but Morton is more ready. Bajcetic fits a pivot as the first receiver, like Graf, in a SOT system, by the way. So I think Morton suits that more. Yo, what's good? That's the argument and debate and chat I'm having with a whole heap of Liverpool fans right now.
You know, Morton, if you ask 10 Liverpool fan, Morton or Bissett, I think it comes down to what you like in it. Because I remember watching a Morton game and he wouldn't go in for a header. And I watched a Bissett's game and I mean, he's
a warrior.
Tackles. You see what I'm trying to say? So what kind of player do you like? I think maybe on the ball, Morton is a little bit silky as far as like passing and stuff like that. So it comes down to what you like. You know what I mean?
No. It doesn't come down to what we like. This is the crucial part.
No. But I'm just saying, if you ask the fans, which we're talking to the fans today, they'll tell you what they like. But as far as the manager now, I think the manager need a warrior. And big up the chat, and I see every one of you man saying this. That's the reason I don't think he rate Hendo. Hendo is I need to put the mouthpiece in because I'm going to war. Slat don't need the war. Slat need the silky, moving the ball, good on the ball, comfortable, press resistant, can shimmy a man if need be just to open up the space in the lines. Slat don't want a war. And you know what, Grizz? If this continues and it's not successful, I'm not really going to be feeling Slat because you know me, man. I love the war. I love the chaos. And Slat don't seem to be in that type of environment.
From our conversation after the second game, you was bored.
Yeah, remember I was falling asleep. It's the lack of chaos. I do like the chaos. I do like the rock and roll. I do like the high intensity. Chiesa is high intensity. Though.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say? So that's why I'm like, you know what? Kudos to Slat. I'm already torn. Going on to 3 games in, 2 out of 10 window. I'm torn. So I'm standing there with the fans. I know some of you man are saying FSG out, but I'm standing with you because I'm looking at the manager and I'm like, bro, this better work. It better work.
Guys, 300 of you guys in here. It's an abysmal, embarrassing number of likes so far. Can we fix up? Don't go on like our recruitment team, man. You know what I mean? Can we fix up and get some likes up in the building, man? Everyone do your thing. Big up my brother Noor Beats is in the building.
Big up Noor Beats.
Much love every time. He says Mac, Saboz and Grav were all out last season. Champions League, extra games, intense Christmas period, etc. We might not survive.
Ooh.
And you know, Noor Beats is the positive ones. He's one of the positive ones.
Nah. What Noor's saying, we might not survive.
Eyes emoji.
Intense Christmas period.
Bro, that period is ridiculous.
Noor Beats, I got one question for you. If we get past Boxing Day, which is the 26th, you know the window is right around the corner. All we have to do is make it to Boxing Day then. You see what I'm trying to say, Grizz? Get to Boxing Day and grab a man. Grab a man or 2. Make 2 signings in the January window just to get us over the second half.
You're thinking way ahead, man. I don't know what you're thinking.
But that's what Noor Beats is saying, man. Noor Beats is saying we might not survive, but he's thinking the whole window. I mean, the whole season. We just.
But he's saying, but Noor Beats is doing one of those ones where if everyone dies, like look at the players.
If everyone dies,
he's literally saying if everyone dies, we might be finished. Of course.
He said if we run out of lives, the game is over.
You know what I mean? DJ Brands is in the building, man. Big up with a profile picture there. He says Liverpool wanted, that's what I'm saying. Liverpool wanted 20 million for Morton this summer. It just didn't happen. They loaned out Bajcetic to build up his stocks. FSG will sell 2 of them next summer.
Ooh.
Would we stress?
It depends. No, but that's a good conversation. And I have a book here. I'm gonna start writing a few things down. I don't think we'll stress depending on who steps in the slot, because there's a weird window in every football team where you have room for a youngster to step up, or you get a ready-made man that's ready to step up, or a guy that's just gonna be seamless in there. If we get those guys in, I don't think no one is stressed. But if they do a madness like sell both of them, and then we get a better forward and a defender, but we didn't really fix that, I think some fans will be stressed. Like, yo, why you get rid of both of them? You could at least kept one. So it's one of them ones. We'll have to see how it goes.
Noor came back with a super chat. He says, nah, I notoriously don't like buying in January. I don't know, you know. We've been buying in January recently.
Mm-hmm. We
Am I
got
wrong?
Gakpo, we got Diaz, we got VVD. Massive.
We've been buying in January.
So that's not too, we'll see.
I'm giving, look,
So I peeled it back from
you went 5-2. I'm not going to give it a
Yeah.
2 because I think the two signings in isolation, I'm going to repeat it, are very, very excellent deals in isolation. But the fact that we weren't able to deliver what the coach wanted, which was a midfielder, he made that very abundantly clear. I think that's a massive failure on the recruitment part. I agree with you. But then the rating goes up because of the sales. I think the sales have been immaculate sales. Pretty much everyone what I would have thought would have gone. Do you get? You know, one of them ones where you have in your mind.
Yeah, it's
When you
house
have a list in
cleaning.
your mind, like,
Mhm.
yeah, this brother's gonna go, this brother's gonna go, and that brother goes. So from that aspect, the rating gets bumped up a little bit. And then the two isolation cases in Mamardashvili and Chiesa, nice deals, very nice deals.
Yeah, because it's one for now, one for the future.
But the midfield, where he wanted a midfielder, and you're not giving him a midfielder. Yeah, that hurts, man. That hurts me. That irks me. Nah, it irks me, bro. So listen, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
4. And to
Oh,
be
3.5.
fair, a 4 isn't bad, you know.
Nah, it's bad.
No. The reason why I say a 4 isn't bad is because of when you look at the 4, right? If we would have gotten like a challenging midfielder or a first team midfielder, all of a sudden your 4 goes to like a 7 or 8, depending on who it is. And then you grab a center back, which is just 2 more players. You're talking about a 10 out of 10 window if you're really deep in. If we'd have gotten a defender, a midfielder, Chiesa, Mamardashvili for the future, but that's a bad boy window depending on who those other 2 players would have been. Don't you agree?
I hear you, but I'm telling you now, I'm gonna give it 3.5 if I'm allowed to. If I'm not allowed to, if I'm favoring towards 3 or 4, keep changing my mind, man. 3 or 4. I'm being serious. Yo, what's good? Says Badge and Morton can play Grav role, in my opinion, but I think Slot will prefer Morton because he seems like a passer in that role. While Badge can come. Yeah, this is what we're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Badge is an endo, whereas Morton is a Grav.
Yeah. I agree.
That's the way it's looking. Jamrock says, Fine can't go from Zubi to Agate. Some fans
/
can't
some
go from...
destroyer midfielder. Yeah, I see what they're saying. So it and like I said, it's a split hair type of situation. I think with the 2 games, what we've identified along with preseason, the type of profile Slot is looking for. Because remember, we don't really know what he needs. We're saying what we want. So most of the fan was like, yo, Endo's a destroyer, but we want the best destroyer available. That's the only complaint people had about Endo or Wataru. And which is okay. That's fine. He wasn't the best destroyer out there. But now we know the manager don't want a destroyer. We now have to go into a silk bag. Like, who is silky on the ball? Who can break the lines? Who, you know, who's press resistant. So now we have to identify a different profile of player because this manager clearly doesn't identify being a tackler, destroyer, people with the mouth guard, battling in the six. That's not what he identifies. So it's interesting. I'm gonna have to do some research to see who fits that. A lot of people would say the Andre guy that we were fantasizing about last season. I think he moved on to where is it? Wolves. I think he came to the Prem, so it'll be interesting to see who we look at and who we go for.
100%. All right, people. Zuberi is giving it a 2. I'm gonna give it a 4.
No, I'll sync up with the 4. The 4 is calm because I started at 5. The cut back from 5 to 2 is mad.
All right,
I'm not here for the madness.
All
so
right,
4 is good.
All right, we're gonna give it a 4. 4 out of 10. As from the channel, and I speak for the rest of the contributors that are not here today. You know what I mean? I'm vetoing if they disagree. But me and Colonel have made the decision on behalf of Football Carnage. We're going to give the transfer window a 4. We're not happy. We hope to fix up. We apologize to Red Zul over the world. You know what I mean? We must do better. We must do better. But like we said, it's done now. We need to just, as hard as it is for some people, forget about it. Look forward to the football. Look forward to the season. And the first obstacle when it comes to the football is Manchester United away tomorrow, Colonel.
It's a valid test, isn't it? What do you call it? First Liverpool derby. I hate calling it a derby, but it is a derby, isn't it? Can he get a point? Not a point, but can he get a win over these? You know what pissed me off about this team? They're dead and they can still ruffle us in some weird way. It's either like we're smashing them or they get in a draw and pretending like they win the league. So for Slot, it'll be a good test. Can he see off these pricks? No, they're pricks, man. I mean, I want to. Yeah, can we see off these pricks, man? Just see them off, man. Nicely as well.
Shall we start bringing on callers?
Yeah, man, we can get some callers in, man. See what they say and see what they're kicking up about.
All right. Let me try to make a rough order to start off with. Studio's full. All right. Natraj, you are first.
Oh, jeez. And you bringing him as soon as I call man pricking that.
Yeah. Sideline football, you're second. Dominic, you're third. And that's the first 3, and then I'll decide after that. Guys, as usual, you already know the rules. Make your points, please, as quickly as possible so we can get as many people on show. Don't let me kick you out, man. Just read the room, innit? Get your messages, get your points. If I'm being honest in it, then I'm gonna look like an idiot and rude. You know what I mean? Like everyone should know, like everyone wants to come in and chat. So make your points and keep it moving, innit? No, but am I being rude for that? Why don't you do
you're not.
Why don't you be the bad cop? Let me be the good cop. No, but you making me do the bad things, and you're all smiling and safe with everyone. You want what? You want brownie points?
Because when I said that, you're like, nah, man, it's the people's show. Let them talk.
It is, but that's why I want to get more people on.
Yeah, I hear it.
You get me? I want as many people as possible.
Hard 3 minutes.
I need to take this call.
No, hard 3 minutes, bro. When I said hard 3 minutes.
Natraj, come through.
Natraj, what are you saying? Talk to us quickly.
First of all, those were some big, bold words calling us pricks when we made sure that your biggest legend retired without a Premier League. So, act like the small club you are. That's first. Second, I think how to put it, I think you guys had a very, like I said before, you guys had a very weird transfer window. I do think that buying Chiesa at this point in his career is a very weird choice. I get that.
Right. I hear you, but we got bare Liverpool fans to talk on that. When you come in here, you have to talk on your business. We got Liverpool fans to talk Liverpool business.
No, look, because No, look, I thought like Grizz said that he wanted to be Liverpool centric. I'm just giving an outside perspective. It's not about hating or anything like that.
No, no,
For
no,
me, the
no.
thing,
We respect your opinion, but
yeah, I'm just
big game
saying, if this
tomorrow.
was,
We need to know
I know, I
about
know,
your club. Liverpool fans
I
can't tell us about Man U, so it's
no,
your
I know, I know. No,
responsibility to
I
tell us
will.
about
No
Man U.
worries, no worries. I got you there as well. But I'm
No,
just
no,
Okay.
what's
saying that
happening? Sorry, I had to answer the call. What are you telling me?
it's all. I'm just saying. I was just telling Zuberi that Liverpool fans should be a little bit cautious about the Chiesa transfer. If this
Okay.
was 3 years ago, I would have been like, man, Liverpool got a fantastic deal, just 13 million. Like Juventus is not stupid, right? Like they sold him for that low and didn't give him a contract for a reason. His ACL issues are there for a reason. Even in the national side, like like he was not the big deal in, I believe, in 2021, and his best season was like he scored 10 goals. So there are things to be maybe cautiously optimistic is a good way for Liverpool fans to judge how what Chiesa transfer is, at least for now. If he does well for you, then congratulations, you have gotten another cheap deal for a very good player. But on the surface, it doesn't look like somebody who's gonna change your club or elevate your club at the moment. That's just my opinion. But coming to the match, yes,
Can I
of
add
course.
that you will know
Yes.
about, signings that go wrong and everything? You're speaking
Of
from
course, yes,
experience,
exactly.
you know.
No, of course we know because, but then again, ours came from incompetency, right? Like if we had like if this was 2020 Man United,
But
we
no,
would
right,
have bought we would have
right,
bought Chiesa for 60 million when he
exactly,
scored 10 goals. Yeah, that's
exactly.
us.
See,
I'm not saying that.
the thing is, I agree with your notion that about in terms of his output and performance since his crazy injuries, right?
Yeah,
But that point becomes void with the wages and the fee we're paying for him. £80,000 a week in the modern day and age is slave labor. 10 million,
yes and
10
no.
million. No, 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 no.
No, I'm saying no. Here's the reason
You
why I'm saying
staff
yes
your
and no.
players at 200 grand.
No,
So let's not.
no, we used to. That's the difference. We used to. So if you see the transfers that we did this summer, most players, like I think we signed Zirkzee for like I think is 75,000 pounds a week. Even Hoyland is at like around 80,000-85,000 pounds a week. We haven't paid like crazy, like at least in this window and the last window.
The
So
two
we
players
have
that
learned
you
from our
mentioned,
mistakes.
the two players that you've mentioned are nobodies in the game right now. Chiesa is a name in the game. Delit is a name in the game. Varane was a name in the game. All of the players that you Mason Mount was a name in fairly kind of name. Jaden Sancho was a name in the game. All of the names in the game you
Yeah,
overpaid for.
I agree.
The one that you've plucked out, the two that you've plucked out are nobodies in the game right now. So it's easier to
Okay.
give them whatever you want in terms of wages.
Okay. Here's where I'll push back. Chiesa was a name in the game in 2021, not in 2024.
It absolutely is a name in the game.
I would disagree, but okay, fair enough.
He's a
If you guys,
fully fledged Italian international who plays for
yeah,
one of the biggest
international,
clubs in the world. Hoyland came
sure,
from where? Zerky came from where? They're not
sure, sure,
comparable.
sure. He was the biggest player. He came from the biggest club in Italy who didn't want to build their squad around him given his age. They
That's
didn't
not the
want to give
point.
him a new contract.
That's not the point. We could go to Pogba conversations at Juve, and we go with Sancho conversations? We can go with Delit, the bright spark of Bayern Munich got rid of just now. We can
Yeah,
go
we have
any angle we want.
we already have documentation.
Your
Company
comparison,
wanted him. Here's the thing: company wanted to keep the leg. Fans wanted him. Fans had a petition that had almost 75,000 signatures to keep him. The board decided to sell him. There's a difference.
and let me
Juventus
tell
did
you,
not want to build a
Chiesa
squad around Chiesa.
fans love Chiesa. Juve fans,
Okay.
fans love Chiesa. Chiesa. But anyway, listen.
Again,
Right, Raj, you got
like I
20
said before,
seconds.
Yeah,
again, like I said before, you
okay.
guys,
Build up.
if he works out well, good for you. I would say be cautious about it. That's all.
No, that's
Again, just a
absolutely fine.
neutral perspective.
And as I said, you should know about being cautious about players
Oh
because
yeah, of course,
you
that's
haven't
fine.
made. I don't
It's
think you
coming
made.
from a positive place. It's coming from a very positive place.
I'm trying to think actually. When was a good signing you guys have made in the last 2 years?
In the last 2 years,
Yeah,
Martinez,
he's been a success.
Martinez is a good signing. I'm not saying
Okay.
he's a success. You can't have success.
I'm asking you a success. What do you think I'm asking you?
Well, okay, but no. But
Name a
if you're gonna
successful
go by
signing
that,
you've made.
okay, well, Garnacho we signed at like relatively young age. We signed him for what I think £500,000. He scored goals in cup finals. We won some stuff with him. He's establishing himself well. I would say that is a good
So
signing.
Garnacho,
Martinez,
a kid. So Garnacho, a kid, is your best signing.
yeah, but that shows.
After $500 million in the last year or so, 2 years, you're mentioning your reference Garnacho. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Anyway, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah,
We
you're
can
digging
go. Yeah,
on
we
Grizz.
can have this conversation long and wide. But coming to the game, I would say,
Tomorrow.
like I said before, I am very cautiously optimistic. Like I said before, I'll take a draw because if I see the matchups, we are facing Salah versus Dalot, who's playing a makeshift left back. That is not a good recipe for us. Makeshift left backs against a really good right winger.
Dallow's
It's a
your best.
bad match.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I think Dallow's your best defender right now in your whole squad. That's just my
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
no. I'm telling
Okay.
you, people that listen to
Sure.
watch my shit, know I rate Dallow for a long time. But anyway,
I'm
sorry.
not saying he's not a bad defender, but calling him the best is a bit of a stretch, especially when he's playing out of position. He's playing out of position. That is the truth
No
because
one
we
at your
don't have a
club
left
right
back.
now who's in better form or a better player than him. No one at your club right now. Martinez potentially has the ability to see the
We
real.
have Kobe Mainu.
I'm
Like,
talking about defender. You
okay,
didn't
defender.
listen to what I'm saying.
I would say Martinez is still better because he literally we saw what he did in the cup final to Haaland. Like we
What was
all
that?
saw that, right? Like let's not exactly. Come
We
on.
literally saw what he done last week against Brighton. So
Martinez, why was Martinez
why are you
at there?
plucking out an incident? We're talking about
We're talking about
consistency.
big games.
Has he been consistently good to justify
Yes.
his fee? Okay, no problem.
Martinez, yes.
Okay, that's your standards, no problem.
Yeah.
That's your
Okay,
standards.
no problem at all. But yeah, for
Tomorrow.
me, like I said before, I would definitely take a draw given the health of our squad right now.
Kenny, are you
It's,
listening to
it's-
this? Gonna take a draw after all this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
well,
did say that. He
so
did say that on the last.
I said
call
I
as
said
well.
that before. I'm not changing my
Yeah.
stance about this. You're just
Yeah.
mad that you can't. I know what you're trying to do, and you failed at it, and now you're like, look at him, look at him. Come on now, that is you're better than that. You're better than that. But anyway,
I'm nasty.
but-
I'm not better than that.
okay, fair enough. But yeah, man, no, I think Liverpool is in a good place, especially like you guys. I think you guys won your first 2 games anyway. And you guys, Slot looks like he's comfortable with the whole idea of more possession, less heavy metal per se, more sideways passing, keeping the possession more, not going for counter to counter. That and looks like your squad has been there long enough to be able to adapt together, which is important. Ours hasn't, and ours has a lot of injuries. We are still going like Ugarte is not going to be there. I don't think we have signed him at a time with like enough time left to register him for the Liverpool game. So we are left with Casemiro at the back. We have, like I said, a makeshift left back, a single injury to either one of them, and we are screwed. We'll have to bring a 17-year-old kid from the academy in that case. So let's see how it goes.
So you painted, like, let me get this right. You've painted such a poor picture for your team, right?
Yeah.
After saying I'm very optimistic, cautiously optimistic and positive, and you was trying to reel off names that you think have been good signings, but now you're suddenly saying we got this problem, we got this issue, we got this issue.
So
Casemiro,
again, again you're doing that thing again. So do you think that good signings are okay, fine. Let me ask you. Do you think signing good players and seeing what is the current health of our match day squad are the two same things?
Whose fault is all this?
It's just players are injured. What can you like? Mount is injured, Shaw is injured, Malacia
What
is
difference
injured.
would so is Mount a very crucial part of your team that would have made a difference, huge difference tomorrow? Is he
This
one of those
season, yeah,
the first names on your sheet?
He might have. I'm saying this season he might have because coming from preseason even to
This
the first
season
2
he
games,
might have. I asked you a question. Is he one of the first names on your team sheet?
For the first half, yes. At least for the first half, yes. Because the way we have played, it's that at least in the first half, or at least for the first majority of the games, we do like to press a little bit harder. We do have a little bit of change in our pressing structure, and Mount has been useful in that. Mount has actually been very useful in that. Thanks to him, we have won a lot of balls in the final third, and it has actually worked out. And now he's injured for 5 weeks, and we can't do much about that. And without him, we don't have a player who presses like him.
Without him, let me get this clear. People in the chat, without Mason Mount, they haven't got anyone
Yeah.
who runs around as much as him.
No, we don't. Tell me
That
who
is-
do we
that
have?
is- yeah, but that's crazy. You're
No,
saying
it's not.
you got one footballer that you bought for
Yeah.
60 million that you're
Yeah.
praising for running around a lot.
They might have well just
So-
signed Gallagher.
But you've sold for me, the only other guy who worked hard as him is Scott McTominay.
Mhm.
Whose fault is this?
No, it's not even close. It's not even close. Nobody in their right mind would say that Mount and Scott McTominay both can press the same way. We are having a bit of a nuanced conversation here. Let's not just act like pressing is only running around. If that is the case, then all you just
So
needed to
you
do was-
bought Mason Mount, who's an attacking midfielder, supposed to be creative player. You brought him to be
Yeah.
your best presser.
No,
That's what you said.
again,
He hasn't done anything else.
I
I don't
agree.
think, I don't think,
Again,
I don't think he's
again,
got a golden
first season,
assist. I don't think he's
no,
got
I agree.
anything.
I'm saying that. Well, to be fair, first season he had a bunch of injuries. Now I think this season the way we have tried to
You've had
fit him
two
into the-
games. You've played 2 games. You've lost one and you won 1-0 or something. Was it 1-0?
Yeah,
And you're
yeah, we won
praising
again. Yeah,
Mason
we
Mount.
won 1-0.
You're praising Mason Mount like he's a crucial member of my team missing tomorrow. Make it make sense.
I'll make it make sense. Hoyland is also injured, so we have that going on. for us.
Missing. Loss. Ireland is a
So
loss.
that one
I
is
agree.
missing. The way we have tried to play this season with the way our squad is built now is that Ten Hag has tried to improve the pressing structure. And that is, again, we are having a little bit of a nuanced conversation. I think that is okay. We changed a little bit of our pressing structure and also Mount has contributed a lot into that pressing structure. What we have seen is that whenever United takes Mount off, our pressing, the quality of our pressing goes down a little. Because pressing, if in football, if pressing was only about running around, then anybody would just buy a bunch of 25 fucking Scott McTominays, and then that would just be the best pressing team in the world. You and I both know that's not true. So why even go there? Like, why
I'm
even
asking
make
you,
that?
what else has Mason Mount brought to Man United?
I'm telling you, I think his recognition of spaces is really good. I think when for pressing, the most important point is the trigger. When do you start to press and who do you press? Recognition of that takes cognitive abilities that he showed and that Scott McTominay has lacked in crucial times. So
Natraj,
to compare him and Mount is
Natraj, your body of evidence is 2 games. Your body of evidence is
no,
2
he
games.
also played. Yeah, but so
And one you lost, and one you won.
One we lost. One we lost by a hair margin just because Xerxes' knee was offside. One we lost because Xerxes' knees were offside. No other reason.
Okay. Give me a prediction for tomorrow. How's the game gonna go? I know your team is dead and you got injuries and
It's not about dead. I just think
finished
that
and my team is. We need to spend another 300 million pound on a few more
again,
players.
yeah, sure. Just keep putting words in my mouth because you know that I'm making good points. You are.
I don't know if you. I don't know which good point you've made yet.
I told you about the Chiesa point. I told you about where my squad's health is, and that
You
is
came on
I-
and said Chiesa, you should be cautious for paying someone £80,000 a week.
No,
in
it's not. I'm not.
2024 and 10
Never
million.
said
So you
once.
started
Never
off-
said once. Never said
Did-
once. You should be cautious for the money you are paying. I'm saying be cautious about how much can he elevate your game or elevate your squad quality because he is not the same guy he was in 2021. That's all I said. I said nothing about your wages. I said nothing about your transfer fee. You keep doing this where you need to shove words in my mouth because you are not getting the comments that I'm giving you.
I tell you, no, I want your comments. If I wanted my comments, I wouldn't
Okay.
I wanted your comments.
Yeah.
The rebuttal to that was nobody is suggesting Chiesa is the same Chiesa. What we're saying is a win-win. There's no loss in this. You tried to make out there is a loss in this.
I just said be cautious about how much you think he can elevate your team. That's
No
all.
one, but that's a
Yeah.
an argument that no one put forward.
Okay. Okay.
So,
If you
so,
say
but
so,
anyway,
because everything. Yeah. Anyway,
Naraj,
coming to the
Naraj,
game.
Naraj, you know I love you, innit?
I
You
know.
know this is all love.
I know. And guess what? Yours is the only channel I
You're Manchester
actually come on
United fan on
YouTube.
my channel. Come on, man. You know it's love-hate
No,
relationship.
no, but look. I don't do YouTube shit anyway. This is the only channel I come on because I expect some good fun conversations. That's
That's
all.
it. That's it.
That's it.
Talk to me
But
tomorrow. Give me a game because
yeah, I
we're
will.
gonna get some more callers in. Give me a
All right,
prediction.
sure. I think I would go with it can go 2-2, it can go 2-0 for Liverpool. Both are possible. For me, both are, like I said, because it's your biggest threat is Salah, and he's playing against a makeshift left back, which gives him a lot of advantage in matchups. So the biggest matchup that you have, you're also facing the weakest side for us. So you're gonna be able to exploit that like crazy. That's just my prediction, and that can get you the win. But then with big games, sometimes comes big game Marcus Rashford, and sometimes comes big game Bruno Fernandes. That can tilt it in our favor, but it takes a lot of luck, in my opinion, because I don't think Dalot can support Rashford the same way in the left flank. We'll see.
So 2-0 or 2-2? I'm gonna have to ask you for one.
I'll say 2-2, of course. Why would I say you 2? Come on,
No problem. Not right. It's been fun. It's always
of course,
banter. It's
of
never
course it
personal,
is.
my brother. Never personal. Um,
I will never take it personally, regardless. We are all just having fun. All right.
Beautiful. Listen,
Thank you, guys.
all the worst tomorrow, but all the best in your life. All right.
Of course, same to
Thank
you
you, my brother.
guys, and I hope I get a chance to dance on both of your heads tomorrow. Let's go,
Yeah,
have fun.
next Saturday, if you win, you know what I mean? I might let you on for about 10 seconds. We'll see. Take
All
care,
right,
bro.
sure, guys. Take
All
care,
right.
guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ah, Natraj.
Nah, your big disappointment, Grizz. Big speech about man make me do my stopwatch. You give Natraj 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah, but come on, man. It's Man United, in it? Liverpool, Man United. I had to like
Nah, man, I'd rather
I
you
had to
give
dig
some
it.
next fan.
I was reeling him in. He was making comment after comment, and none of them made sense. So I just had to let him carry on, carry on. I was I was ruining his every argument. It was so funny. He didn't know. He's talking about 60 million pound mount runs a lot. And his body of
Yeah.
evidence is 2 games. One they lost and one they won 1-0 at home to Fulham. Come on, man. Yo. Shit, look at the time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. You let Natraj eat up all your time, bro.
All right, safe. No, but he ain't been on a little while. So, all right. Next, from now on, people, strict 5 minutes. Who did I say next? Can you remember? I'm serious. You didn't even butt in. So why are you telling me? You didn't even say all right, time
Bro,
up.
Natraj got 30 seconds. You went on to have a 15-minute conversation with the guy. No, but like you
No,
gave
but
me the speech. I'm trying to help you. I run my time. I'm like, all right, Natraj, you got 30 seconds. Natraj, burn through that and then go, yeah. Now let me get on to Man United. I even try to cut him off, like, bro, we got Liverpool fans in the chat to talk Liverpool. You're a Man U fan. Keep it Man U. You're like, nah.
Say. Listen. Okay, sorry. I apologize.
Try to work with you, man.
Okay, let's go. No, I see Grizz is still lying about the points I made. All right, next caller, Sideline Football Show. Sideline, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. You're on mute, bro. You're on mute.
Yeah, you're on mute.
No.
No, we can't hear you, but I'll tell you what. While you're patting that up, I'll tell you this right now. You see, if we win 2 trophies, yeah, nothing's coming through, man. Tell you what, we'll remove you from the queue.
Yeah,
when
come
you
in.
patting up and come back.
Come straight back in, and I'll all right? Straight back in. All right.
I hope you're
log out completely and
trophies.
come back in. Oh, that's a shame, man. Who was next? Dominic. Yeah, I think it was Dominic. I said. Dominic, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well.
It is me. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
My name is Dominic. I'm from Slovakia, and the first question for you guys is the first guy who comes up to your mind from Slovakia. Who was it?
Oh, Mario
like with Liverpool, of course.
Oh, Skirtle, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Skirtle, of course.
Okay.
Oh, I said
So-
Hamsik. I said Hamsik.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's a
Well,
good one.
now I would
He's
like to have
Liverpool, I
a
said
Lobotka from Napoli. You know.
Lobotka from
Lobotka,
Napoli.
That
We
would
could
be
do
nah,
with a
you know-
Lobotka. Wait,
Yeah.
talking about
Mm.
ball-playing midfielders and
Mhm.
can tackle, Lobotka is why hasn't no one mentioned Lobotka? How
Well,
old is he, Dominic?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe he's like almost 30. That's the problem, I think.
Okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah. So I would rate the transfer window like 3 out of 10 because
Mhm.
I was expecting something bigger, something better, especially in that sixth position. But yeah, the Chiesa one is a good one. High, like high potential, low risk for us. But in terms of Mamardashvili, that's a good one. And yeah, I think that uh, Edwards and Slot were like brought mainly because they overperform with a smaller budget. So yeah, I
Do you
think
think?
that's the
Do
main
you
the,
think?
the main reason.
Do you think? Do you think we've left ourselves a lot to do now in January and summer?
I think yeah,
Mhm.
because as Colonel said, I think that we have to survive until January and then we will see, So that's the main point. Like I'm scared when I see the teams like Real Madrid and Manchester City right after
But
after
who else?
the
But who else
yeah.
scares you apart from Real Madrid and Man City? Who else scares you in the
Well, I
world of
think we
football?
don't have a good record against Arsenal from the last season. But yeah, that's about it. Those three clubs. But I don't know. It will be tough, I think. With injuries, I will be stressed.
So
If
Arsenal picked up a couple injuries today. No, not a couple
yeah,
injuries. Sorry, they had a sending off today. Without Rice, they lose the game. Um, you
I
know,
think I think that by the way the league is gone for me. When I saw what City did today and in the first two matches, I think it's done. In my prediction, I did put Arsenal as the first one, but I think it's done. It's finished. The league.
Rodri hasn't even stepped on the grass.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy actually.
It's mad. It's mad. Rodri hasn't
But
stepped on the grass.
yeah, and I think in terms of like transfers for the future, I would say that we should go for Ryan Nuri from Wolves. That would be a great one, but I don't know. We will
Oh,
see.
the
But
left back.
yeah, that's the one.
Is that the okay? In January,
Hmm.
you are the manager, or you are Hughes. You are in charge in January. Which is one player and position that you make sure is the first target?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, we can as Joe Gomez stayed, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so I would go for a six. Well, I'm like always optimistic. I would just go for Zubimendi one more
Again,
try, but I don't know if that's possible. I just read that he didn't get a new contract. I don't know if that's true. So I don't know.
would you be comfortable going with Zubimendi knowing that he's 50-50 and he's doesn't like leaving his country?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. That's like he's not like a Liverpool kind of player because we want the players who want to come to us, like Chiesa. He never stops smiling. So yeah, it's kind of 50-50 for me. I don't know. I'm not sure about him. So yeah, we will see.
Fair enough. Dominic, thank you very
Yeah,
much, my
thank you so
brother.
much, guys, for having
Look
me.
after yourself. Enjoy the rest of the show, my
Hey,
brother.
big
Yeah,
up Dominic,
thank you
man.
so much.
Slovenia.
What was the first thing you do in January?
The first thing I would do in
Oh,
January,
first
yeah,
position.
it all depends. So I'm just gonna paint you the scenario that I think would happen, and then react to the scenario, right? So first scenario is Gravenberch picks up a knock in October, after a great run of form, right? But he picks up a knock in October, November, which forces Hendo to kind of do what he normally does and just see out some games, and we're limping through at midfield. And we found out that the lack of depth with ability from Robertson and quality from Simicas were like, yo, the left side, we need something over there. I'm jumping on Robinson, Fulham. Nori, I don't mind grabbing him. He's decent, but I'm more on a Robinson train. So I try to snatch up Robinson, swap deal, give him Simicast, Robbo, whoever.
No,
One of them
Rob,
just
shut up, man. Stop.
no,
doing
but I'm just painting you my scenario because I can't say we're gonna do this. It would have to be we're seeing an area where we can't go to the next stage of the Champions League with. You see what I'm saying? So then for me, there's a guy named Enz like Edison in the midfield. I like Enz is raving about him, so I think he can do a job. For me, you know, Leicester, the midfield is just battling.
Yeah, man, we're gonna move it on before you say that name again. We're gonna move it.
So
man.
you already know. You already know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll do.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do.
Okay,
so it'll be left back and that guy. It'll be left back and that guy.
Sideline Football Show says his mic is good now. Let's put it to the test.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Awesome.
Love in the background.
Awesome.
How are you, my friend?
Well, thank you so much, man. Big up to you, Grizz. Big up to you, Zuberi. Everyone in the chat. Come on. Please, like, if you don't give likes to a show like this, that a Man United fan comes in and gets a lot of time, you know, like what other show would you give like to? You know,
Come on, man. Look how much time I gave him. I mean,
Seriously.
I gave him, you know when they say give a man enough rope
to hang himself. I mean,
exactly.
Not Raj always takes the rope. Not Raj always takes the rope as well.
You
always
give him.
takes the rope.
You know what? You give him the rope, and I'm gonna hang him now. So, I put some links like in the chat. I don't know if you know the chat. Bless your heart. The chat is really busy, which is awesome. You know,
always.
600. Oh yeah, big up the chat. So, Man United, since Ten Hag or Seven Hag arrived at Man United, their transfer ends 660 million euros in 2 years.
Wow.
660 million euros. Yep.
And what is that? What is it? 2 FA Cup? That's all he has over there, right? 2 FA Cups. I know he got 2 cups. I don't know if it's a Carabao and
the
FA
one
Cup.
last year.
Yeah,
no, not the 2 FA Cup. No.
It's 1
last
FA
year
Cup, 1
got
League
it.
Cup. They got they didn't beat Carrius for the League Cup. Newcastle.
Yeah.
I can't remember. The last season they won
Carabao.
the FA Cup.
It's 1 Carabao against Newcastle and the FA Cup against City. Yeah, that's all they got.
The one against the City, that's what I remember. I don't care about Man United, but 660 million euros, for God's sake, in 2 years, that buys you a freaking whole team. They actually bought 21 players for that much.
I mean, so they did buy a whole team.
A whole team with like a whole team with a bench and everyone. So please don't talk about transfer. Go to that link. I can post it again. Look at your transfer, ends and tell me who was a success.
I asked him, I said, who's your success? And what did he come out with? Garnacho.
Yeah, he said Garnacho and Maino. No, he said the butcher that can't cut meat. Because no one is afraid of Martin.
Garnacho, I rate him a little bit high. The rest is just great.
Yeah, but Garnacho is a youngster that's coming through, and I agree, he's dangerous. Garnacho will be dangerous tomorrow. But amongst 300, however much you said they spent,
660.
Give me a success.
Holy shit.
Give me one success. He couldn't give me. He was like, Garnacho. What did you just say there?
I don't know, man. 660, you can go buy a whole freaking club, probably like in the championship.
Of course you can.
Anyway.
So on the topic of transfer sideline, can you tell us the dust is settled now? Were you affected by the dust settling the way it did, or?
So I rated 4. I gave it 4 out of 10, and the reason why I give 4 is 1 point for Mamardashvili. I don't know. I think I just slaughtered his name.
I think if
1 point for him.
We'll get there. Yeah,
okay, good tip. So 1 point for him, 1.5 points for Chiesa, and the other 1.5 points is for the outs. like the loaning out, especially for Stefan. I really like Stefan. I agree with you, Zuberi. Whoever you ask, Stefan or Morton, depends on what you like, right? Like what you like from a football or the football that you like. Me, I like Stefan because he's a warrior, but that's why I gave it 4 points. That's my detailed why I gave 4 points. 1.5 for Chiesa, 1.5 for the loans out. Some of these youngsters, they need some minutes. Whether we're gonna get them back, and I think they need to bring in some of them back for the homegrown numbers for next year. We have 1 spot left for someone who's not a homegrown, so that spot can be in the winter midfielder. Can be anyone outside of Premier League, I guess. So the option is there. We got that. If we get a midfielder in the winter, okay, now we're talking, right? The positive thought that I have is that Slot likes to play controlling, resisting, pressure resistant, right? He is not very keen in the warrior players. That's why you see them on the bench, or you see some of them even loaned out. So I'm expecting 30 to 40% less injuries than last season. You're always going to get injuries, right? It's the Premier League. It's the toughest league in the world. It's not a slow down league. It's not a farmer league. It's tough. You play Ipswich, Brentford, whoever you're going to play, they're going to come at you, and they're going to come hard. Right? So you're always going to get injuries. But with that type of tactics, I would expect less injuries. I expect maybe less goals.
Can I ask you a question on the injury tip? Real quick on the injury tip. So you remember when McAllister went in the 8th and he wasn't swift enough with moving the ball and he kept getting kicked? I think it was like in the Palace game. He was just getting kicked up. Every time he gets the ball turned, he was just getting kicked. They kicked him off the pitch. That is the system I see Slot trying to play. And if the players aren't really on it and swift, like you said, it's the Prem, they're gonna get kicked about. So I actually think being Liverpool, where every team wants to take a free hit at us, team isn't gonna just stand aside and watch us pop the ball around. No team has done that for us. We've never had that luxury. So it could be a case of more guys are getting kicks. It's no longer muscle injuries, but knocks.
Tomorrow going to be a big test. It's the first gate to a lot of things. One is like, are we going to be knocked around a lot? To your point, because Man United, I believe that they have a button inside them. Whenever Liverpool comes to Old Trafford, they just press that button, and it's.
But we used to, but be fair to them. Be fair to them. We used to have the same when they were better than us.
Yeah.
We used to play.
Oh yeah, the button exists in both sides.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
Button exists in both sides. So Old Trafford, Man United, Liverpool, doesn't matter how did we perform before the game, as well as Man United. It does not matter. What matters is in that day, that situation, that case, right? But I get you. But the thing is, we're not pressing. We're not pressing the teams. We're inviting them to come in, right? We're trying to take the ball, long ball behind the defenders, wings cuts in, whether from the right or from the left.
It's a different way. It's a different way. It's a different approach. It's going to take time for us to get used to this new way of playing. But let's see. Tomorrow is the test. As I said, Ipswich and Brentford was solid, but tomorrow is a real test for us. And if we come through with flying colors, then the confidence, the mood will be lifted, because we're a little bit of a downer after the transfer window. I'm not going to lie. We're all a little bit down. So, but 3 points at Old Trafford is the biggest hype that one can have. Give me your prediction before we keep it moving. Sideline, brother.
I'm hoping for another 2-0.
Nice.
That
I would love
I
it.
hope 2-0.
You know
Just
me,
simple.
I love to score 2-0. I don't ask me why. Everyone likes 3-0s, 4-0s, 5-0s. I get it. But you know me, 2-0 is like a proper football score.
That's what
I
I
don't know
thought.
what do I mean by that? I don't know.
No, but see,
So,
Grizz, I'm
when
with you, and I'm with Sideline. I used to love a 2-0 until Klopp said 2-0 is the worst scoreline, because at 2-0, the team pulls one back and you're dazed. And before you know it, they fire another 2 on you. So
But
did you
mind
man
you-
see? Did you man see? Probably didn't see it. So that's what happened with Xavi in his game today. Bundesliga. Great 2 goals up. Out of nowhere in 20 minutes, 3-2.
3-2. Yeah.
How about Everton?
Klopp made me hate 2-0. I'll take a 1-0. I'll take a 2-1. Dude, I don't want to. The
See,
2-0 is you're under. Yo, I'm telling you, once you pull one back on a 2-0, bro, it's Everton 2.
I don't get this. I
I
don't
hate
get this.
2-0.
This is all psychological, though.
It is.
It is psychological.
It
It is.
It is. I'm telling you, 2-0, they score 1, head's gone.
Yeah, but
2-2,
they-
head's
if they
gone.
don't score, it's 2-0's comfortable.
Okay.
I hate
So
2-0.
each score comes with a recipe, in my opinion. The 1-0, you got to keep going. The
Mhm.
2-0, you got to control the game. You don't sit back. You
Yeah, you have to
control the
control
game.
it.
So every score comes with a recipe, right? The 3-0, you start balancing and maybe resting some of your attackers, right? The 4-0, okay, then let's calm it down, tune it down, and finish it like with a high tool, right? So each score comes with a recipe. The 2-0
Who's
with
up for
slot,
6-0? Who's up for 6-0?
I don't mind. To be honest, but the first thing that I'm gonna do once this show is done, I'm gonna go watch the 7-0 just to clear my mind and my ears
There
from
you go.
the
That's
30
the
minutes
energy.
that happened before me. You know? Sorry, man.
I'm
6-0.
now
6-0.
I'm a sad old man. I'm one of those ones. I don't give a shit about scores. I need 3 points tomorrow. We've got burnt twice last season, 3 times last season, and it's just not on. We need to get 3 points. Sideline, we're going to keep it moving. Thank you very much for calling in,
Thank
my
you so
brother.
much, man.
Lovely
Thank you.
Big
chat.
up Sideline, man.
Nice one. Big up yourself.
Rate his energy. Love this.
We got Faz next, then we got Joe Riley the next 2, and then we'll take it from there. Oh my God, look who's in the building.
He's bopping as well, you know. Let's see what Faz said.
Faz, where's Faz? There's Faz. Faz, how are you, my bro?
Hello?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
We're
Doing
good. We're
man,
good.
doing good.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I saw you on the Big Six, and you mentioned that we were going to be going in for a 6. You didn't say who it was going to be, and I understand why, but could you reveal that now?
We didn't get him. So what's the point? As I said, I don't think we're gonna get him. But
I mean, if I say who it is, could you at least like? Was it Bruno Guimaraes?
yeah, I heard his name linked.
Okay, all right.
But point is, what are we gonna do with that information? This is what I'm saying. It's like what we didn't get.
Yeah.
Nah,
I
man.
know.
Nah, Chris, don't be doing that. Don't be pretending.
No, but it's true. It's like what are we gonna do with that information? What? We didn't
Nah,
get him.
bro, because then Nerbeats, if you're still in here, breaking news. I'm breaking it. I don't know. You seen the source. It's Faz and Grizz. My source, Faz and Grizz, said we're going for Gimaresh in January. Are
No,
you
we're
still
not going-
worried, Nerbeats? Nah, Nerbeats. Are you still worried because Faz and Grizz said we're going for Gimaresh in January? I think we're good, bro. Thanks, Faz, for breaking that, by the way.
We're
Big up
not
yourself,
going for
everybody.
Guimaraes. We were gonna make
It's
an
breaking news. We just broke the news, right, Faz?
I mean, I don't know. I was just going off by clues. I was just only going off by a guess. It was a
Yeah,
clue.
look, the name I got was Bruno Guimaraes, but obviously, and I also added, I doubt it we get him over the line, and we didn't go for him, and we didn't get him over the line, so that's why it's
Yeah.
pointless.
I mean, if you wanted my rating, which is what you guys probably
Go on.
My rating for it was a 2 out of 10.
Okay.
I don't really the Chiesa thing. It's just more like a red herring for me. The whole Chiesa thing. You know what? We always needed a backup to Salah, but it was never the priority. But it was, it was needed.
Is there one of those a too good a deal to turn down?
It's a difficult one to say, isn't it? It's just
Is it?
I know why. I know the reason. I know where you're coming from, but it was there, and they took advantage over it because it was.
But that's what I'm asking you about. That's what I'm asking you. If you're in charge, if you're a coach and you're offered Federico Chiesa for 10 million at 80 grand a week, are you not taking up that option?
I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, we kind of. I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen much of him since 2021 when he was in the Euros, because he went under the radar for a bit. So I don't know how good he is. That's my honest answer. I haven't seen him when he was playing for Juventus. I don't know how good he is. I don't know what this version of him is, and because I don't know how good this version of him is, I'm assuming he's not good as what he used to be back in 21. So again, it's a really, really hard one for me to say. I mean, 7 million for what we paid is a pretty good bargain. Yeah.
But in 2021, he was a 80 to 100 million pound player. So
Yeah.
is it not worth the risk at a fraction of that price, a fraction of that wage to
So
bring him in?
Yeah, so from what I understand and from what I read, he's lost a yard. He's lost a couple of yards. He's not that same
Who told
player
you
as he
that?
was.
Where did you read that?
From what I understand, from the ACL injury he had, he's not the same player as he used to be.
Stay
That's
right there. In fact, keep talking. I'll find you something. 1 second. Or you can go and carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want my honest answer, I just, if for a 6, like, I got really desperate, and I was actually looking at players from a player from Lyon. I don't know if you know of him. It was called Kakarets. He's
I know him. French guy.
yeah,
Right.
he's one of the best progressors of the ball in Ligue 1. So he's actually a very good player, and he would have fit the Arne Slot style. And then the other one was Manu Kone. He was a very, very good one, and Roma took him. So, like, those two players alone would have moved the needle more than, say, for example, Endo would have. And we could have sold Endo if we were going to play Moneyball, and we could have got either one of those two. And that's, at the bare minimum, that's what I was really, really wanting. It was a 6. No matter who that 6 was, just a 6.
See, this is the thing, Faz. I'm sorry, but I'm one of these guys that likes to not just listen and just, I can't help myself sometimes. I like a good debate. Sometimes it can turn into an argument. You said you just wanted anyone.
I mean,
So,
I wanted a guy who was an actual 6,
Sure,
who was good at being a 6, and those two players are very good.
No, Mac Kakare is not our level at all. I don't even think he's better than. I don't think he's better than anyone at our club right now.
Bro, if you look at the stats, he is actually very good.
Let me give you some actual stats. So you said you said you read somewhere that Chiesa's lost his speed. This is where Chiesa's.
He's not the same, what I'm saying, he's not the same player as he was before the injury, and that's the actual consensus that people have. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you went on to say you wanted anyone. Your words, not mine.
I'm talking about number 6.
Yeah, that's it. You said I want anyone.
No, I wanted. There were two specific players.
You became desperate, so you wanted anyone, a la Chelsea, a la Man United, a la all these other teams that just buy anyone for the sake of it in the end? Aren't we better off not buying anyone for the sake of it? Now, I'm not arguing for not buying anyone. Let's make this clear. So when pressed upon a name or a player, Kakare is not even a DM, a destroyer of what you want, or he's not a defensive-minded player.
He's probably better off suited in a double pivot. I think he was there with Kamara. I could be wrong.
He plays in a
Kamara
double. He plays in a double pivot. That's what I
yeah,
meant. That's what
I'll put Kamara. I think he's at Villa now. I think he's a notch above Kakare.
So look, I'm with you. But by the way, Chiesa's top speed was 36.2 kilometers per hour last season. Right now, that would rank 1, 2, 3, 4th quickest amongst the Liverpool players. So he hasn't lost any pace, my brother. He hasn't, and I get it. As I said before, we always want our favorites, our position of players. But what got me slightly concerned with your assessment is you ended up saying, I just wanted anyone. I got desperate and I just wanted anyone. That's not how professional, that's not how high-level, top-level clubs operate and work.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. And if I put my emotions to one side as a fan, you are probably right in what you're saying. And, if we look in-house,
But don't get me wrong, Faz. High-level operations don't work like we worked either.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah,
So I'm not defending not getting anyone in the end, but what I'm defending is saying we get anyone in the end.
Yeah. So what I mean by anyone is someone that can do the job and someone that can do the job better than Endo. That's what I was trying to get at.
Fair.
I meant anyone
that's fair.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's all I was looking for, was somebody that could. That could move the needle more than
100%. 100%. There's no way I'm accepting we couldn't find anyone better than Endo.
Yeah, and those were just two examples of
Sure.
two people I said.
No problem.
And all right, Kakare, you could put to one side. He comes from a farmer's league.
Players. There is 100% players out there, and I'm not going to put you on the spot because that's not your job to find players. That's the job of the people that we pay good money. But the fact that either they didn't find anyone, which I don't believe, or we didn't pursue anyone, which I believe. That's not how you operate as well. But Faz, thank you very much for calling in again, my brother. Really nice chatting to you. And Chiesa, we're going to come back and speak about Chiesa in a couple of months' time, and hopefully you'll change your mind because you was very unsure about whether you would take him or not at that deal.
Yeah, we'll see how we do. I mean, it's his time to shine. He does look motivated. Maybe
these things are massive in the modern day, and they ask all these clubs, Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle, all of these teams, ask them how important it is to have motivated players that are dying to play for your club.
Yeah,
it's a very underrated ability or talent.
Maybe he's all we need. Maybe he's all we need. Maybe that's all we need.
No, it's not all we need. We 100% need more. But
yeah, I think
only bitter Man United fans can't see. Liverpool fans should be grateful that we've got someone who's dying to play for the club and was at a level. But yes, we don't know what level he's at now. But that is negated by the price and the wages we're paying for him. But fans,
can I ask a quick question? For you, Grizz. No. You can move on.
Thank you very much.
Big up, Fuzz. You made me thought of this. Remember when we got Shaqiri and we're like, it's a great deputy. Where would you slot Chiesa from a Salah, Shaqiri? Where you putting Chiesa? Because everyone I talked to would put him above Shaqiri.
Just a bit about Shaqiri. Because that's a great example everyone throws. He's our new Shaqiri. Actually, see, the thing is, I'm a big Chiesa fan.
Oh, me too.
But I hear the reservations.
I was putting him above Salah. When we was getting Salah, I was putting him up there.
Lord have mercy on you.
No. The time frame. When we was getting Salah, I was
Mm.
putting him up there.
All right, we got. I'm gonna bring on two of my favorites. Is that all right? I'm gonna bring on two of my favorites. I'm gonna bring on Joe because they're both Liverpool fans. Joe Riley and Albert. I'm gonna bring on together
Lord of His mercy.
because
Brace
one
yourself,
is
Joe.
I know how both.
Brace
know-
yourself, Joe.
No, because I know how Joe sees things and I know how Albert sees things, and me and you can just facilitate.
I'm just gonna go on mute. Bring in Albert. Bring in Albert. Bring in Joe.
Man said he's gonna go on mute.
Albert and Joe can run the show. Uncle, what you telling me? I like that kit, man. I like that kit. Look good on you. Joe Riley.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening,
Good
good
evening,
evening,
people.
good evening. Good
How are
evening, good
you?
evening. We're good, bro. And now we're even better because we've got two of our favorite callers in the building.
Yeah, man. Grace, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, bro. I look out for your tweets now. I'm stalking you.
I see. Well,
Can I
I'm
bring
stalking
Colonel?
you too.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second before you go because the floor is yours. Let me give Colonel the context. So you're not on Twitter, Colonel. So what I do now is I stalk Albert stalking other accounts. So Albert goes around. So
you're like, let me see who's Albert stalking. So you're stalking Albert while he's
Yeah.
stalking other people.
Yeah. So Albert goes around cussing everything Liverpool does to big accounts. So wherever someone's saying something, Albert's like, fuck, get out of here, man. We're dead. We're finished. Whatever. And you know what I always say to Albert? I don't say nothing else. Shut up, Albert. That's all I tweet him. Everywhere. Everywhere he goes, I'd say, shut up, Albert. Shut up, Albert. And Albert's going around gunning FSG, gunning Slot, gunning Liverpool, gunning the whole setup. I love it. But that's why I've got him here because I love him. And Joe, of course, the voice of reason is here as well. Both of you welcome. The floor is yours. The agenda is yours. The narrative is yours. Whoever wants to go first.
To be honest with you, I don't feel like a voice of reason at the moment. I'm very frustrated.
Oh,
I'm very
Nah,
frustrated
Joe, you
after
can't
that win.
flip the script like this. I was supposed to go on mute. You can't flip the script like this. But I'll hear you
Yeah,
out. What are you saying? What's going on, Joe? Talk to us.
I mean, like I'm frustrated. I guess like the way for the same reasons why you know a lot of the fan base is frustrated. Obviously, with how quiet the window's been in terms of we all recognize that there's certain needs like the DM and everything like that. But I think another thing I'm particularly frustrated with is I don't know if you've seen any of the reaction on the Newcastle side to the lack of like their window's been poor, but obviously they're hamstrung by PSR while we're not. But to be honest, I when I've seen some of the Newcastle journalists, the way they react to how they've left Eddie Howe short in their opinion, I feel that a lot of the journals that are close to our club give the club a free pass, a free ride. Don't ask, I think, the questions. Like I know Ornstein, for example, he's not exactly a Liverpool journal, but we all, recognise how reliable he is for breaking stuff. But coming out with stuff like Richard Hughes and the team being brave, to be honest, it just sounds ridiculous to me, to be quite honest, in the sense that I think that the journalists that actually call things out as it is are very far few in between. I think the only people that you really hear call things out when things are bad or where we're left short are either pundits or guys like yourselves with similar platforms to yourselves, where they can be at least honest. Because I think there's a degree of, if you're a journal close to the club, you've got a certain level of access, and does that access continue if you're going to just cut straight to the chase and basically say, well, actually, I don't buy that narrative of there wasn't another alternative six out there to Zubimendi, for example. Instead, we have a bunch of journalists that just parrot what seems to be the line from the club of, oh, well, they couldn't get anybody else because they didn't see anybody else on the list. I don't buy it, and I think a top-tier journalist shouldn't buy it either. That's the way I see it. So I'm frustrated from that perspective.
Can I share something with you guys? There's a fella on Twitter called Grizz who had a bit of a chat. Well, I tried to engage in a chat with a certain
Ian Doyle, yeah.
Ian Doyle.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Albert,
Yeah.
Albert, I don't know if you came across this. Colonel, you wouldn't have because you was on Twitter, but he tweeted. I hope can everyone see it? Shall I zoom in a bit? Is that okay? All right. So I can't hear anything.
No,
You
we
hear
can
me?
see it. I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But didn't you see my response to it? I saw it.
Okay.
I
No, I didn't.
responded to it.
So Ian Doyle said, just got out of a Blood Red live podcast. There were a lot of angry LFC fans on it who hate FSG, and some would sooner the club was run like Chelsea and Man United. Anyway, Stefan Bajcetic season-long loan at Red Bull so confirmed while we were in there. So I replied to him, Colonel, with the greatest of respect, Ian, that's not what the majority want at all, is it? Most sane and rational Reds, and yes, there is a few, just want a new coach to be backed. It's evident he's not a fan of Endo and has instead asked Grav to play a newish role as we've not been able to secure our targets. We are in an excellent situation off the pitch, but it's fair to ask if investment on the pitch are deemed sustainable for top-level success.
It's good to see a reasonable man on Twitter. Not many retweets are that or replies are that reasonable. I think you did present a very good case and represent majority of the fans very well. You are correct. There is a few fans that would like to see us hold the line of chaos as far as dealings is concerned. But that is a very fair response. I would love to see his response to yours. If it is even one. If there isn't, I don't know who the Ian guy is, respectfully, Grizz.
He's a local Liverpool journalist for the Echo.
I can't stand journalism. I think journalism should go out the window because all of these social media platforms, and correct me if I'm speaking recklessly here, all of them, the source of the information is on the platform. There's a Liverpool page. Social media has bring us to the source of everything. The president can tweet. We don't need a news channel telling us what the president says because he just tweeted it. So I feel like journalism, it's an old school. We need to wrap that up, get that out of here. Because all they're feeding us is rumors and opinions. For crying out loud, welcome to Grizz Kall Show. My name is Colonel Zubiri. I am the journalist here at the Kall Show, and I bring you my opinions and what I think and the rumors. So I'm a journalist here on the show.
Albert, Joe.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead, Albert.
My Grace, I've been listening to you. You know, I read you, and when you are maxing out in Chelmsford, living the life of the rich and famous, I see your cups of coffee and. You see, we are
He's too much. This Albert is too much to look at.
we're you know where I was born. I was born in a place, and I bring this up with a lot of pain. I was born in a place where gaslighting the people is the order of the day. So it's not unusual to find the Minister of Information on Independence Day telling us that maternal mortality rates have gone down. When you go to the hospital, the children are still dying. In fact, they are dying worse than before. It's not uncommon to be told that we've built 12,000 kilometers of road this year, when the distance between where I'm from and Kathmandu is 12,000 kilometers. So if you've built 12,000 kilometers of road, where I come from, we wouldn't have dead trucks anymore in that place. Many of you who were born in the Western world don't understand it. So I understand when for 3 years we've been told that we are going to get a defensive midfielder, and we never do. And every time there is an excuse. But this year, the worst of the excuses is that we couldn't get anybody apart from Zubimendi, who said he wasn't going to come to Liverpool after agreeing to come. So I'm going to name a few players, and you tell me what the common thread between them is. Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Jorginho Wijnaldum, Luis Diaz, and even for those of you who are old enough to remember, John Barnes. Can you hazard a guess? I know there's more, but this is what comes to my mind. The
Second
guess
choice.
is that they were second choices. And these players have absolutely lit up our team. So why would anybody who is not smoking cheap weed come and tell us that they didn't get anybody apart from Zubimendi? But you see, if you've decided that Gravenberch is good enough, and you're actually going to teach him the position, because we all know that Gravenberch has to be ushered into that position because that has not been his natural position. I get it. But the gaslighting after the fact, since you guys have decided to mention names, don't worry about what Oli Ian Doyle has said. Just see what James Pierce is saying. After the fact, that he put out a tweet a few hours ago about how having seen that Zubimendi was not going to come, then we were not actually in the marketplace for any other person because the profiles has changed since Klopp left the team. And with all my disagreements with,
Can I ask you a
yeah,
question though? Are these statements coming from the club or coming from journalists?
I wouldn't know. I'm saying that,
And that's my point. No, but Albert, that is my point
and Grizz
because the
will.
club is
I
making its own
suspect strongly.
statements.
I suspect strongly that this is being put out by some people in the club, and of course, PS will pick
Nah,
it up
nah,
and
man.
tweet it.
Mm-mm.
But what else can I, Zuberi? Let me. I don't want to forget my train of thought. Grizz will bear me out that I have differences with Klopp, but to tell us that all of a sudden the profile you are looking for a halfback has changed so dramatically that you now need a certain kind of player, and if you're not getting it, then you're not getting anybody else. So why are you still playing with Klopp's players? Are you not the same person who is telling us that Klopp left you a decent set of players? And in terms of players who can play the halfback position, for those of you who watched the Copa America, I'm not saying everybody watched the Copa America. There's a Colombian halfback called Richard Rios. What is it that we are looking for that Rios can do? I could go on and on. There's another player playing in Hoffenheim called Anton Stark. What is it that Anton Stark cannot do that Zubimendi is doing? So you are simply being dishonest with the fans, and we were all sitting here without any what's the word I'm looking for? Without any pushing. Our director of football told us that August was going to be the crescendo. I dare say that if this is how Richard Hughes crescendos, I worry about his bedroom. Right? If this is a crescendo, goodness gracious me, he's in trouble. Listen, tell us the truth.
Listen,
Just
I
tell
don't
us
know
the
who's
truth.
lying. Albert, I hear what you're saying, but I'm a man of my word. I say what I think. I believe what I say, and I say what I believe. Right, and I keep it 100 at all times. Journalists, it's a broad thing. Let's narrow it in to the pagans and whoever it feels. Sports journalists, hear me out. Because if this doesn't make sense, you can tell me shut up, I'll let it go. Sports journalists, the idea, because we don't know for a fact, is I have a link in the club, this man tells me, right? We don't know if that conversation is true or not. If I'm saying to you, Grizz, Liverpool have a page on Twitter. If we want a question answered and we rock up in the press conference and ask a question, if Slut says this is what it is, now I don't have to worry, did Slut tell this guy to come tell me? I don't need that daisy chain. You know that game we did as a kid, I don't want to date myself, where you whisper a word in the beginning of the class, by the time it gets to the end of the class, it changes. I don't need a middleman telling me what the club is saying. The club can tell me themselves. So that way, if the club is gaslighting me, I can know for a fact the club is gaslighting me. The manager is gaslighting me. The owner is gaslighting me.
There are
Don't
few of
gaslight.
them who are like that.
No, but Albert, the
There are
point
few
I'm
of
trying to
them.
say is we don't know if the information a journalist is getting is spot on. Because it can change. The journalists themselves said, yo, the information can change. So if the information can change, then bro, shut up and let us get it when we get it, bro.
There's a reason why we human beings are the dominant species on this planet. It's because we can think for ourselves.
Yeah, but if we can think for ourselves, I don't need a guy bringing the message from some. I'm following Liverpool.
I'm agreeing with you.
Why do I need a man to tell me what Liverpool is gonna tweet? I'll just wait for the tweet then. Because if Liverpool doesn't tweet that, then who's the liar? Who's the liar?
Let me just go there. There are some of them, and shamefully so, who simply do what they are doing because of access. It's painfully so, but that is what it is. You can't tell Grizz to say what he doesn't want to say because he doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't feel he owes you anything. Some of them, some of the local journalists, and I've been around Liverpool for a long time, feel that they don't get certain kinds of access if they don't become, in essence, echo bunnies. Okay? And with all, no pun intended to the Liverpool echo. What Ian Doyle did today was disrespectful to all of us, the fans, and come say, oh, we want to be Manchester United or Chelsea. Nobody has said that. And I absolutely love the cultured response Grizz gave him because I wasn't so cultured in my response. But that doesn't surprise anybody. Thing is this, the issue at stake that we had all been discussing is that we needed a halfback, we needed a left-sided centre back, and maybe a wide forward in that order. That's what we have been talking about since June. We were told that the Euros were on, so wait. Okay, we waited. And then we were told that July was going to be slow. There was going to be a crescendo in August. And this is what has happened. So the issue of getting Chiesa, for me, if you ask me, I think Chiesa was a good opportunistic buy. Reason I say that is that he's 26. Hopefully the ACL will not be so profound on him unless he had a bad surgery. Let's not forget Verge had an ACL too. He's come back, and I dare say he's doing as good as, if not maybe slightly, but and Verge got the ACL when he was a little older. So hopefully with youth, Chiesa fixes up. But it is not a binary choice. You needed that halfback. And if you think we are lying, just look at our October schedule. So what happens if Gravenberch gets injured or suspended? Today, Declan Rice has been red carded. It will probably cost his team a match or two. That is his own doing. Curtis Jones has not played a single match. He's already injured. And yet, he was supposed to be the backup to Gravenberch in the slot system.
Why you laugh?
That's
Why you
the
laugh?
reason. That's the reason why squad depth is important. Anybody who tells me that Liverpool doesn't need to strengthen our team, I will tell you, give your head a wobble. Because it is the same team that capitulated at the tail end of last season. And the reason we capitulated is squad depth. You can disagree
I'm
with me,
laughing.
but that's how I see it,
No, I agree with you, but I'm
right?
laughing because Joe is laughing, so
The
I
team
feel
that
like
has
Joe is
squad
agreeing
depth,
as well.
the
Actually,
team
I
that
only
has
laughed
squad
after
depth,
Colonel.
the team, you see, one fine day, the owners of our team and those who run our team are going to turn all the moderates into, ultras like me. Because the people who give them the benefit of the doubt, they continuously spam them. Some of us, we already toasted. Can't do nothing about the bread. But they need to stop taking us for granted.
Yeah.
It's look, Grizz, you had the Valencia game, right? No, Seville. You had the Seville game, weren't you? You had the Seville game, right?
Yes.
It was like a family day out for the whole of Liverpool. Tell me I'm lying. People were there with their children. I mean, I thought it was because Liverpool supporters love their team. When you go to the one center in Liverpool, the Everton store is just next to the Liverpool store. At midday, you don't see anybody in the Everton store. You see nobody in the Everton store, and the Liverpool store has traffic. They sometimes have to keep people out. Liverpool supporters love their team. Why do the people who run our team do this to us? If you're not going to get anybody, tell us you're not going to get anybody. Liverpool are walking away from this summer window with a tidy profit. We've virtually
Can I ask you a question,
exchanged.
Albert?
Let me just
Can I
round
ask
this
you a
up.
question? Mhm.
No, let me round this up. We have exchanged Bobby Clark for Chiesa, right? We've spent some buying Mamardashvili for the future. We made a tidy profit, and we are supposed to be happy about that as supporters. If
No,
Joe is not happy and I'm not happy, we are not happy.
no,
We
but
are not happy.
Albert, let me ask you a question. So one
I'll
of
ask
the
him a
things
question, but let Joe have some say as well now.
yeah, no, I'm all right. You know what, Joe, I'll let you answer this then. But it's based off what Albert was saying and what me and you talked about earlier, Grizz. So I was watching the press conference for the Man U game, and one of the first question was about, window, whatever the case may be, and the manager say, yo, it's difficult to improve the squad based on the level that he see the squad is at, right? That's what the manager says. Grizz said, oh, he's just saying that to save face. And I'm like, why can't we take the word of our manager at face value? Why every time the manager, because we did this with Klopp as well, Klopp will say something and we go, oh, he's saying that just to protect FSG. Why can't we take the word of any manager, because we didn't take it for Klopp, and Grizz said he's not taking it for Slut because he's just saying it to save face. If this is our manager, why can't we take our manager's word for what they are? Why can't the manager is telling us what he actually thinks and believes? Because if that's the case, why are we having managers that can't speak for themselves? That's what I really want to know.
I'd like to answer that one.
Go ahead.
I think the reason why you can't trust any manager what they're saying in a press conference is they're meant to be statesman-like. They're like a politician in that sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to down Klopp or say managers are terrible people, but the guys who speak their mind and call out when they're not being backed, it generally doesn't go well for them. Look at Rafa Benitez, people like that.
Mourinho
When they're vocal about it, it causes problems. And let's remember, technically the remit Slott's been brought in for is meant to be below what Klopp was, and that he's not technically a manager; he's a head coach. And we even seen, I think, Pochettino when he was the Spurs head coach. What was it? I think it was kind of towards the end of that season of when they played us in the Champions League final, Spurs, where he starts getting asked questions about lack of investment, lack of backing, and what does he say? Don't ask me. I'm not the manager. I'm just a head coach. So you could see he was playing the game like most head coaches do for a while, but he just got annoyed by the fact that he's getting asked all these questions that realistically the power is not in his hands. And that's why I think I'd be of the school
where I think I would support the idea that England and the Premier League become more like Germany in the sense that I believe sporting directors should have the answer for these questions. Like in that, if I'm a journalist or whatever, I'm asking these questions, and I ask Slot, for example, "Oh, I don't buy that. You think the squad is good enough?" I mean, it's just a back and forth. It goes nowhere, and ultimately we know there's people above him that are making those decisions. Now, it's not that he won't have a say, but I mean, there's people above him pulling the strings, if you like. So, and his job is meant to be the head coach's technically, officially, is do the best with what you have, make the players you have better. And I'm not opposed to that. I think there's validity in that, but you know, I think going back as well to what you were saying, kind of objecting to maybe some points or counterpoints to what Uncle Albert was saying, is that when it comes to journalists, and Grizz is well aware of this, you have different tiers in terms of you have people that if they say something, they maybe they speak less than everybody else, but it's because when they do speak, they've got something to say and that they know what they're saying. So you have journalists that are less reliable, more reliable, and most of the people who are clued in know which ones are reliable and which ones aren't. And the fact that the ones that are quote unquote reliable, more often than not, they're just feeding the drivel that comes out and saying, and you'll hear like the ones that are close to the club, it's the same stuff. So somebody's telling them something, whether they're being lied to or what, that's a different story. But there's official communications going to certain people that are close to the club, and it's all the same. It's not like we're not talking about these guys that come up invent the Varela stories on Thursday before the window shuts. We're talking about people who they speak very little, but when they speak, it's usually because you know they have connections that are reliable within the club. So that's what I would say, and that's why with certain people you can disregard what they say as nonsense, obviously, but there's certain people that, you know, Ornstein, for example, what he said I mentioned earlier about the club being brave, Hughes being brave. He's got connections within the club, even though he's not technically a local journalist. He has people that are feeding him information. But the thing I'm not happy about with Ornstein is that because he's connected, he'll just repeat what he's being told. He won't come out and say, look, actually, this is very risky what the club is doing in terms of, like what Albert has said, in leaving us with bare bones. I mean, it's like, I think it's Spine Cup or Spion Cup. As I've heard him on other programs say, and he's on Twitter a lot, where he uses this phrase of players that are made of crisps or made of prawn crackers. And we have players in that squad that are made of prawn crackers that can't be relied upon. That we love them. Diogo Jota, Kanate, Curtis Jones. I love, you know, the players, and on their day they can be great, but they're not reliable. You know, and trusting in a squad that's not reliable and not backing the coach sufficiently because you're trying to get a perfect player. The perfect player doesn't exist. You need to be a bit more flexible with your parameters, I think. And on that program that Ian Doyle was referring to, I listened to that program, and I'll finish up my rant here. But the only big voice of reason on that program, in my opinion, was the guy Joel Rimmer that was hosting it, because he called out FSG in the sense that not he wasn't ranting or raving. He just said, "Look, I think the problem is that their model is so refined and so strict that when it works well, like Van Dijk, brilliant, it works well, but it's so restrictive. What if it doesn't work? You don't get to Tchouaméni, you don't get to Bellingham. You just give up and say, oh, well, there isn't another player out there." That's ridiculous. I think anybody with an ounce of cop on, for lack of a better word, should be able to say that. And I think it's disappointing to me that journalists that I do respect, like Ian Doyle and other people close to the club, they create this false dichotomy of you either want your club to spend like Chelsea or like Liverpool. Surely there's some common sense approach in between where you can spend sustainably but not be constantly leaving the squad short and the manager short. But that's me. End of rant.
I don't think it's a rant. I think you and Albert have been spoken very well, and Colonel asked a very, very good question as well. It's just good that we're going to end the show on such a, I think, a good conversation, healthy conversation. But I want to switch it up just before we end it, guys, because I'm too tired. I've had a long week. This transfer deadline week has drained me out. But I want to switch it up for tomorrow, Albert, because we have a huge game tomorrow. Transfers are done, windows done. For the first time in a long time, I think we're all on the same wavelength in terms of the transfer window. I think it's fair to say. Even the Colonel is with us, Albert, inside, because he gave it 2 out of 10. So he's on the same page as us. So, and I'm on the same page as
I
you.
think they owe us. I'm giving it a -10 because they've kept some of the money. They owe us.
Okay, but I want to see.
Should have spent the money. Should have
Okay, but
spent the money.
I want to time out the transfer window because it's finished now. Tomorrow,
I
guys,
agree.
talk to me. What's happening tomorrow? Manchester United, Old Trafford, Liverpool, 2 wins out of 2. Man United coming off a defeat. We didn't put them away last season. Albert, you go first, man. What's happening tomorrow?
I tell you what, I've said and I'll say it again. Tomorrow is day 1 of the day after for Slot. Tomorrow is his first real test. Forget Ipswich, forget Brentford. Okay? Forget those two. He needs to go out tomorrow, and what he tells us needs to work. Right? Because I tell you what, there will be an almighty meltdown if we lose tomorrow. And let me give you a typical scenario. Gravenberch stripped of the ball by Kobe Menu or Bruno Fernandes results in a goal. We don't end up winning the match. Certain mistakes are made. We don't end up winning that match. He needs to win tomorrow. He can't get a draw and declare victory and leave. He needs to absolutely win tomorrow. But I'm reminded of something that happened 2 seasons ago when Manchester United lost their first 2 matches. I think they lost the second one by 4-0 to Brentford, and then they beat us 2-1 at Old Trafford.
Yep.
If you know enough about Liverpool and Manchester United, the form guide goes out of the window because both teams are motivated to win. But I think at this point, we have a better team than Man United. We should go out there and we should beat them. I don't even need a comprehensive victory. I just want a victory. I don't care if it ends 4-3. I don't care if it ends 10-9. Let's just go and win. Because Manchester United began our perdition last season, and I want revenge.
Albert, can I ask a
don't care
question
what
right
any-
here? Can I ask a question
Go
right
ahead.
here? Because I think I respect your opinion, but I think your opinion is a bit unfair. And it's unfair because nothing you're saying, it's your opinion, and it could play out the way you're saying. But when you say you don't want a comprehensive win, it's because a comprehensive win will nullify everything you've absolutely just said.
No,
Because
not at all.
if we
Not-
smash them,
I
no,
want
let me
to
like
be wrong. No,
no.
Zubimendi, don't go there. Listen, I am a Liverpool supporter. You see, you
No. I
we
get
forget
that.
something.
But let me ask a question.
The greatest day of my life. Hold on. The greatest day of my life as a Liverpool supporter was the day we beat them 7-0.
Which I
That day.
believe you. But what I'm trying to say is everything you just said.
Because it will
If we
never
beat them
happen again in my
6-0, what you
lifetime.
saying?
It will never happen again in my lifetime. That day.
But you want
I
to be
didn't care
wrong. But you also want to be wrong.
I didn't care whether we got relegated that season. That season we came fifth. I didn't give a crap. Today, every time I chat any Manchester United supporter, I tell them we beat you 7-0. Go fuck yourself. You can't do shit
But
about it.
Albert,
If
let
we
me ask
beat
a
them
question.
comprehensively, no, I hear your question. I'm saying
I haven't
we
asked
beat
it
them
yet. I haven't asked it yet.
No, but then you're not allowing me to answer your first one. I said, if we beat them by another 7-0 at Old Trafford, my God, I'm
Where
doing a
would you
happy
stand
lip.
with the slot stuff and the transfer stuff? Beating Manu 6-0. We don't have to go to 7. Just 6-0.
Because I want 3 points first.
And then
That's
you get
what
a
I'm
6-0.
saying.
And then you get a 6-0
Right.
after the window
The day
closes.
we beat them 5-0, I nearly got beaten up at Old Trafford. Right? I was saved by the police. because I was doing a happy loop and some fans tried to accost me. I was saved by the police. So I'm saying that I want 3 points first. If we get an added icing on the cake and we smash them, hey, I want to be wrong. I want what Slot and Richard Hughes are telling us to be true. Because what I am looking for is for Liverpool to come out on top at the end of the season. That's what I'm looking for. So there are times in your life when you are happy to have been wrong. It's just that based on what we have seen over the years, chances are if you don't have squad depth, you don't win titles. That's all. But I tell you what, if we smash Manchester United tomorrow, yo, the bottles of wine that will go down in my living room, you are going to need the RSPCA to come and stop me, man. I know Grizz doesn't drink, but Grizz will drink a lot of coffee.
Joe,
So
Yeah, man, taking up that
I want us
espresso
to win.
early.
Joe, final word.
Yeah, I want us to win.
tomorrow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I echo. I want us to win. If we don't win tomorrow, or if the season goes in a negative way, I'm not looking as a supporter. I support a team first and foremost. I'm not looking to use it as a stick to beat the coach or the squad with. I just think it's unfortunate that he wasn't backed properly, in my opinion. But I tomorrow, I think ultimately. I think it's a tough one. It's like we just need to make it about the game and not the occasion. If we show up with the right mentality, I think we hopefully edge it out 2-1. But again, if it's one of those ones where we don't, I wouldn't be surprised based on playing the occasion rather than the game.
What do you think about when Albert said it's a must win? Like, draw's not acceptable.
I wouldn't necessarily go that far. I think in all things being equal, a draw at Old Trafford was historically seen as a good point. But I think the fact that how much this team has fallen, ideally, I think we should be going and winning that match. But I understand that's easier said than done. And just to be consistent, the era that I grew up supporting Liverpool after, in the early Roy Evans onwards and stuff like that, let's be realistic. There was times where Man United came and they were fire, and we were absolutely dire. And they would come and they would have a stinker at Anfield. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher talk about this all the time about the pressure coming there. So it does exist. It exists in the player's head. So it can mess.
Absolutely.
It is a real thing in that sense. But still, I would still say that it's an indictment. It was an indictment on the good Man United era. The times where they didn't come and turn us over when they should have, because they let the atmosphere get into their heads. And I think vice versa, when we're going there and not like it was like I think the one where we won 5-0 at Old Trafford, although I was never expecting a 5-0, but part of me was nothing like, yeah, it's about time we went there and we comfortably beat them in their place, because they're not all that. And I just think it's the occasion and the squad that messes us up. The occasion messes us up more than we would like to admit.
I don't think we need any more callers after having the two goats calling in. So thank you, Joe. Thank you, Albert. We're gonna end the stream right now, guys.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
luck.
Thank you so
Joe,
much, Chris.
Albert,
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm always grateful. And
you don't need to. You don't need to tell me. This is your calling.
I missed you. I missed you when I came
You
over.
well,
But
you don't need to miss me because I'm there. I'm not going
yeah,
anywhere.
I'll be back. I'll be back next week. So
All right.
I'm there for the Forest match. So
All right.
hopefully, let
Good
me
night,
just
guys.
before we go,
Oh,
let me
sorry.
just say this. I know we all love we all love our team. We all love our team. For most of us who sometimes speak out of pain, in 2012 or 2013, correct me, Grizz and Joe, correct me. We went to Old Trafford in the black and white jersey that we are going to wear tomorrow, and we completely dominated and beat them. Sturridge was playing. Raheem Sterling was playing. Somebody should tell me the year, but We went there at a time when nobody expected us to win. We went there, totally dominated them. If I'm not mistaken, Sterling scored twice. Just somebody should just remind me. But we go there tomorrow, and hopefully, because I feel we're a better team, and there's been no important injuries, we go there and we get 3 points. 3 points that will count towards our points total when the lean season comes. And you know, with Liverpool, our lean season always comes after January. So we want the right thing to be done. Sometimes when we are in pain about certain opportunities that we think missed, it's not that we are, for want of a better word, we don't know how to support the lads. We support our lads. Right? Grace will tell you how much some of us put our pensions towards our team. But we want the right thing to be done. And those who run our team should do the right thing. That's all.
Joe, Albert, peace out. See you next week, hopefully, when we're celebrating. All the best.
Up the Reds. Take care.
Bye-bye. Some super chats to finish off with, Colonel.
Yeah, get the final words from the people.
Sing G says, big up, love Colonel, coolest don on the scene.
Raw, very humbling, Sing. Big up, man.
Samuel says, can someone explain to me why Richard Hughes has let Arne Slot answer the press conference after making him a head coach?
Yeah, so that's a gray area that I think eventually would need ironing out.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of them ones where, no, because that's why I asked the question I asked, and that's the convo me and you started it in the back office.
Oh, okay.
If you hire me to wash your car, but you're telling people I'm your driver, you need to pay me as your driver. It's one of them ones.
Okay. Samuel again with the super chat says, regarding the lack of transfers, feels like they are shifting the responsibility to Arne Slot. Could be wrong, but that's how it comes across. That's what you're saying, mate.
Yeah, it's murky in the waters, and we need to know what is what.
Fair point. This comes back to the journalists being hopefully.
Yeah, because how would they know now? You see what I'm trying to say? So now they're just assuming the same way we're assuming. So I'm gonna take this Samuel L as a journalist now.
Daza says, duties as a head coach is that he does press conferences. But Daza, duty doesn't mean he has to answer transfer questions because that's not in his remit.
Yeah, because Klopp always slides off the transfer questions. He was like, there's people in place for that type of stuff.
And we're going to end with this ignoramus. He says, is Grizz really simping for these FSG? After nearly 2 hours, 20 minutes, this punk ass bitch has come out with this kind of shit. Like, come on, like, what do you mean?
I'm confused. I'm having a headache.
I don't know what the fuck he's on about.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do the same thing I do with the group that I'm in, and big up the man them in the Avengers group, and that I'm gonna ask the same question. The lack of bash towards FSG in this stream from you could paint a picture for someone reading in between the lines that you're simping for FSG. And that's why I tell you at the beginning of the show, Grizz, the in between the line space that people like to live in. It goes good and it goes bad. That is a classic example of a man reading in between the lines. I didn't hear Grizz say bun FSG, so he must be simping.
People, I've enjoyed today's chat.
Saeed say you want to join in. You're not letting him in.
Oh man, no, I'm tired now. No, I'm tired now.
Saeed waited until you're tired, you know. Man trying to come in the game. 96 minutes. Fergie time in that.
Yeah, man.
Yo, big up Saeed. This ain't Fergie time, man.
Yeah,
the game is over.
2 minutes, I'm tired, man. Allow it.
Well, the game is over, Saeed. Don't pay the ref off. None of that, man.
Yeah, he knows I'm tired. I wasn't even going to do today's show. You know what I mean? I was knackered. I told this Colonel I'm not even doing it, man. But Colonel said, no, we got to do it. And the community asks for it. Yeah, he's my brother still. But
Saeed, wait till the game is over, you know, to ask for extra time.
No, he's not even at home. So you're walking in the house. No, I ain't waiting for you to load up. Peace, people. We out of here. I'm back. I got a gap in the morning and shit, man.
Yo, Saeed,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
jumping on your stream tomorrow if you're doing a stream. Let's do a watch along together, Saeed.
Oh, that would be hysterical. Yo, you need to
Saeed,
let
let's
him
do
know.
a watch along. Send over the link.
Yeah. You need to get the Colonel into your watch along stream. That would be epic. People, this has been your call-in show. You guys have been amazing. Colonel's been the Colonel. Albert's been Albert. Every man has been blessed. We out of here. Take care. Peace.